like the morning breeze. What a day it's gonna be. I'm so happy. We'll sing pa pa pa, pa pa pa. He is alive. Glory be to him, my everlasting King. Sing, righteous is he that delivered me at Calvary. I know my God is here. He's still alive. I look up and I see beauty, so peaceful it seems. Birds singing sweetly, everything in harmony. Holy Spirit, come fill me. I wanna be like thee. I wanna be like thee. To love everybody and see you in eternity. We'll sing pa pa pa, pa pa pa. He is alive. Glory be to him, my everlasting King. Sing, righteous is he that delivered me at Calvary. I know my God is here. He's still alive.
To the Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Mr. Brent's Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on the Street 919 FM.
In Trinidad and Tobago, there are so many things to talk about. Social issues, injustice, child abuse, domestic violence, political scandals, and much more. On HOTP, we will cover all that and much more. Don't forget, you can catch us every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Hot off the press. Hot topics, no filter.
Ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion, leaving from Kings Wharf, San Fernando. And the Embassy, leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain. Or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959 281-4723 or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it's on to it.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ailing, you can get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the host of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
The journey's almost home.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
pleasant good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Titans of Democracy right here on the street 909 FM. Let me thank the Heavenly Father for bringing me here safe, sound, and all together in one piece. Pleasant good morning going on to my entire family. Good morning to the lovely Miss Sharon Felix, Mr. Dominic Romain. Oh gosh, just a minute, guys. Yes, and their entire families. Good morning to you, all our callers, all our listeners, to all of our viewers online. For those of you that are always locked on with us, it's always a pleasure to have you guys right here on the inside with us. Let me also say good morning going on to my friends and family in Tobago. Hope you guys are doing great this morning. Pleasant good morning going on to Auntie Pat, Melissa. Good morning to you, my dear. Hope you have a great day today. Good morning going on to the management and staff of the street 909 FM. Good morning to Mr. IWER George and his entire family. So, guys, yes, although I've been here since Minister 5 this morning, I am still a little flustered nonetheless, but Sharon will not be in with us today. Dominic will be here with us. Well, he's already here. So I'm just going to do the headlines, and we'll get right into the show. For those of you who I normally send the link out to, I am doing that at this very moment. So you will get that, don't worry. Right, so let me get into the headlines today, guys. We'll take your calls we'll take your calls after this morning, okay? Don't worry. Right, so headlines in the Express. UNC blanks Rowley. Local government councillors heed opposition leaders' call to not attend the meeting. Dumb. Unions unite against a 4% wage offer. Papa, you. Come. Right. Mom in despair after fire guts home. So let's see what's taking place on the inside here. Excuse me, yes. Right. So mom in despair after fire guts home. Thousands of dollars in recently purchased school supplies were destroyed in a fire which claimed the home of a San Fernando family on Monday night. UNC blanks Rowley. Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Faris Alwari has expressed disappointment at the failure of UNC local government representatives to show up. Hold on. Right, where am I? Right. To show up at a planned crucial meeting yesterday. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley was expected to lead discussions on the operationalization of local government reform. Alwari said yesterday's event was supposed to be a meeting of all mayors, councillors, aldermen, and chairmen. So, people of those various constituencies, I hope you all don't get upset, huh? Yeah, that is what your representative doing. I don't know how they seek any interest like that, but nonetheless. Unions unite against 4% wage offer. Trade unions are calling on their membership to come out in their numbers for a massive march through Port of Spain planned for Friday. The march is meant to... Hold on. Let me see what they're saying here. All right, the march is meant to signal the outright rejection of government's 4% wage increase offer, according to President of Public Services Association, PSA, Leroy Batiste. All right. After car stalls on highway, thieves steal battery, then entire vehicle. An Aruka man whose vehicle stalled on Saturday on the Sir Solomon Hotroy Highway in Carlsonfield was robbed twice by thieves. 2 drowned at Maracas, Tyrico Bay. 2 men are suspected to have drowned at beaches in Maracas and Tyrico on Sunday. Chicken farmer dies after accidentally drinking chemical. Police are investigating the death of a chicken farmer who reportedly ingested a chemical substance, believing it to be water. Hey boy, my mother always talk about labeling the bottles when you put certain things in it. That is so sad. Brace for more crime. Scrap iron dealers are warning of a possible surge in crime if the government moves ahead with plans to ban the export of scrap iron for 6 months. So what to do? What to do? There are some of you working above board and there are some of you not. So then what to do? I don't understand that, you know. Mosquito menace in Central. Man on a mission. Floodwaters stop traffic in Manzanilla. Murders linked to land grabbing. Linesman on assault charges denied bail. Princeton man on 17 gun-related charges. These are the stories making way in the Express. Over to the Newsday. Where am I? Right. Excuse me. Let me make sure that this is what is going on in the Newsday. Right. Over to the Newsday. My people come first. Lone councillor ignores UNC boycott of local government meeting. UNC, government courting U.S. sanctions with Venezuela visit. King eager to face Black Caps bowling attack. Gonzales, be grateful for access to public utilities. Trade unions unite to march in Port of Spain on Friday. Al-Wari tells councillors, turn up and represent your constituents. Murdered Las Cuevas couple to have separate cremations. Police seize 13 guns nationwide. 327 new COVID-19 cases, 0 deaths. Tobago Civil Net. Give info to calm carnival jitters. Kamla knocks hypocritical PNM Women's League for not defending other women. Protester, Penal Rock Road the same as in Columbus time. Munilal Gonzales wrangle over Wassa. Princeton man charged with Barapore fisherman's murder. Brown pays respects to late U.S. ambassador. San Francisco home undermined by Wassa leak. Emancipation Support Committee review the monuments long overdue. Tennis great Serena Williams set to retire. Sports company Tourism Trinidad Limited sign MOU. $2 fee to use PTSC toilets at Citygate. That is nothing new. 2 Tableland men minor held with guns, ammo, ski mask, duct tape. Ex-SWRHA chair, save lives, build cardiac lab at SFGH, San Fernando General Hospital. And these are the stories making way in the Newsday. Quickly over to The Guardian. Headlines in The Guardian, councillor defies Kamla. UNC councillor after defying Kamla's LG consultation boycott call. I was not aware of instruction. Councillor for Warrenville, Kelly Village, Samuel Sanka, was the lone United National Congress UNC councillor to show up at the Rural Development and Local Government Ministry public consultation on local government operationalization yesterday. Well, boy, wait to see the backlash of that. PH driver killed by passenger. Police said the taxi driver was plying his car for hire along Gloucester Lodge Road in Gonzales around 8:20 p.m. when an armed suspect who was in his vehicle asked Richardson to stop nearby. As the driver complied, the passenger reportedly pulled out a gun and shot Richardson. As PNM's completes 7th year in office, Penny favored among public. 8 homeless after fire in Pleasantville. Chief wants Red House monument in honor of TNT's First Peoples. Woman collapses outside health center. Cyclist killed in Sando accident identified. Relatives call for justice in death of LPG salesman. Hines calls for police probe in Piparo land dispute. Socially displaced at Riverside Plaza to be relocated. Ex-children's home ward still traumatized by abusive past. U.S. will stretch monkeypox vaccine supply with smaller doses. China's chargé d'affaires to TNT responds to Pelosi's Taiwan visit. No COVID-19 deaths reported today, which would have been yesterday. Wassa, mechanical problems at Superior Water Treatment Plant. Raging fire consumes fourth tank at Cuba oil storage facility. Cop sees illegal weapons during weekend exercises. And these are the stories making way in The Guardian, The Express, and The Newsday at this time. So, guys, hold a sec for me as I change seats and we get Dominic on the inside. So we'll be right back. Keep it locked.
So good morning Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to all of you loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. Thank you for choosing the Street as your frequency of choice this morning, because we know there are a number of morning shows, but none like the titans of democracy. So good morning, of course, to all of the loyal trolls as well. You know, you all, as I always say, you all contribute to the success of the show. Share it live. We need more. Yeah? You all need a indoctrination in truth. You're addicted to it, even though you're still... Anyway. They call this Bruce. Oh, let's lie, let's pee, but every morning, let's still tune into the live. Anyway, good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe, Mr. and Mrs. Regis. Morning, Angie. Morning to Mano, Mother Tunapuna, to Alison Samuel. Morning, Patsy Edwards, Nicole Caesar, Davia Andrews. Morning to all of you. Alison Haynes, good morning to you as well. So Miss Annette Lewis, good morning to you. Helen Rivers, morning to you too. And to anybody and all of our listeners who may be celebrating a birthday today, we extend birthday greetings to you. And if you wish, you can always call in and let us know. And you know, well, Sharon not here, so to sing happy birthday for her. So hard luck. We could just we will just extend birthday greetings. Yes. But yeah. So we'll just take a few of your morning greetings, and then we could proceed from there. I see Mano is waiting patiently in the waiting room. Mano, morning.
These are the days. These are the days when religion don't matter. In His name you got to pray. These are the days. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Morning, Dominic. Good morning, Bruce. Good morning to Sharon. Good morning to Gilbert. Good morning, Miss Jean. Good morning, Patsy Street. Good morning, Roman Oga. 1285. Good morning, Miss Tunapuna. Good morning, Miss Faizabad. Hey, Sama man. Good morning to you. Good morning to Malcolm and Gemma out there. know you're still listening. Good morning to Mr. Chance. Good morning to Bataya. Hey, Brother Sterling. Good morning to Carol and Jenny. Good morning. Good morning to Vero. Hey, good morning to Pauline. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Wherever you're listening, go tell somebody that Dominican Bruce is on the air. Sharon is making coffee. Good morning to you people. Just remember, love is the answer. Give somebody something. Say nothing about it. Talk to you guys later. Hey, go. Remember, tell somebody Dominican Bruce is on the air, 91.9. This is the station of the world. Talk to you guys later. I'm listening.
Two 3420081. Feel free to give us a call and send your greetings. Hello, good morning.
Blessed morning to you, Dominic.
Morning, sir.
Morning to Bruce, and by extension, the titans of democracy. Morning, Trinbago. Sister Jenny, blessed morning to you. Sister Carol, morning. Mommy Sauce, morning. Shak Shak Lady, morning. Mr. Chance, morning. Our constituency guru, good morning to you. Morning, everybody. Lockdown as usual. And here we're going on Dominic and Bruce. Land grabbing starts in Santo Island. Last great was these people come in a document from San Fernando and want to run people off the land who live in there 15, 17, and 20 years. I want to know what's really going on with these on the other side. When they tell money is land. Look on as usual, my brother. Time for me to push back a corn thing.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic. And
Morning.
Bruce. So I just want to extend greetings to Trinidad and Tobago. Have a blessed day. And I had to make a quick run to Valencia this morning and heading back. I'm seeing a lot of CPAP people working. I'm saying, God bless them. You know, it's not as if we're seeing other people working, but on the road. But you know, the CPAP, they're doing a very good job cleaning up the country. The only problem I have with that Dominican group is that the people who are supposed to pick up the waste is not doing that, and I wish that they would do that quickly so that it would not go down into the drain and clog the waterway, right? You know, and well, I mean, a lot of the cigarette people just standing by, but you know, I wish they would work more. You know, concerning the situation that the guy talked about, people with false paper, be careful, it has been happening for years. People, be careful. And the paper looks very genuine, right? So be careful with your property. Take care, have a pleasant morning.
Thank you. Jenny, morning.
Hi, morning, Dominic. Morning, Bruce. Morning to all the callers and listeners. 91.9. Mr. Chance, Mother Tinupuna, Zina, Mano, Baras, Tudrin, the whole Tobago clip. Everybody, anybody I've left out, there's so many people to call. This morning I want to send out greetings and blessings to my sisters and brothers, cooks, bakers, and food service workers, and all manipulative staff in the public service. Because they speak with our certain union leaders, especially PSA, they feel that being a cook, you cannot have a voice and you're not intelligent enough to have a conversation to deal with anything with the labor matters. And I'm telling them, when they say that about me as a cook, I'm proud to be a cook. Let me put that there first. I'm proud to be a government cook in the public service at range 16. I feel no embarrassment. I feel no shame. And I want my sisters and brothers who are cooks and bakers and food service workers in the public service and who are public officers especially, that they cannot discriminate against you because they feel that you are the lower end. And all the maids and all the cleaners and the typists and the messengers, the chauffeur messengers, everybody, manipulative staff, I say good morning to you and hold your head up high, because there seems to be an elitist group operating as executive at the PSA, where they look down on people like us. However, They call in for March Friday, and those are the same group of people. The wards made in the hospital, the attendants, the orderlies, the cooks, the bakers, food service workers, the clerks, yeah, messengers. Those are the ones, and the daily pays and the laborers. Those are the ones who they look down at. It's who they just look for to come out and march with them and then show you no respect after by telling you don't have a voice in the union, you're not bright enough, you're not intelligent enough, and who is you? You're just a cook. When they say that, they ain't just talking about me. They're talking about all cooks and all persons in lower ranges in the public service. Because when they call for marches, the permanent secretaries, who some of them are PSA members, and our public officers, them don't come out and march. The heads of the department don't come out and march. All them in the range 30-something and 40-something, they don't come out and march. So if the lower range in the public service don't come out in the marches, they will have nobody. But then again, they think a year is nothing. It's just good enough to come out and march, hold a placard. The same thing they accuse the political party of. How they just treat the activists. It's the same thing that is doing the labor movement. Some of them labor union members and leaders and them. It's the same way they just treat the labor activists. You're good enough to come with a placard and go and march against the government. Yeah? And they say, no, I'm a PNM operator trying to scare the public officers. But who was sitting down as senator at the house in Bushville, UNC? Not Mr. Lambert. He was not deputy Speaker of the House and the UNC and a senator. What Mr. Anisette was at one time. Mr. Roger, isn't he a part of MSJ? Leroy Batiste, was he walking up and down last year with Watson Solomon Juke, the leader of the MSJ, the leader of the PDP? So they want to say as a PNM operative, and all of them are part of some political organization. But again, we good enough to march and come out with placard against the government. Who they say making we suffer while the government eating nice, but them wouldn't tell the members how much salary they getting off our members' money. Them living like the bourgeoisie class right now when we, the members of the PSA, eating crumbs. So public officers be wise, but I'll talk more about that later. I'm proud to be a cook. All my sisters in the public service and brothers in the manipulative group and class of workers, be proud. We important. Go on, Dominic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenny. Jama, morning.
Morning, Dominic. Morning, Bruce.
Morning.
Good morning to my Prime Minister and his family and his cabinet. Good morning to Mr. Napuna. Good morning to Sister Jenny. Good morning to Mr. Monk St. George in Tobago. I don't forget the name. The next lady would have stopped for my Prime Minister in Tobago. God bless him. Good morning to Mr. Barataria. God bless. Have a blessed day. Dominic, I had to talk to you. Every time I keep putting off this thing, I had to talk to you, Dominic. Okay. Have a blessed one. God bless him on Trinidad and Tobago. God bless us. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Bruce and Dominic.
Morning.
Yes, I just called you to just say my morning greetings to the management staff and everybody, Bartaria and Gandhi and Marabella. And I will be very short, but I just, as I always tell Bruce and I always say, observe carefully the people who are in your company. Listen carefully to what they are not saying. Because all skin teeth and grin is not a smile. So I am speaking about that from my experience. So that is why I'm saying that. I'm very passionate about that because I have a lot of backstabbers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Blessed morning to you, Bruce and Dominic.
Morning, sir.
Lake, absent without leave. all loyal listeners and callers, all on the live. A very special good morning to the PNM and this government on the second anniversary. If you ever are showing you, are going on this road, are celebrating with the PNM this morning, are celebrating the victory 2020. This is second year. We have 3 more years to go. And this is what I want to say this morning. You see the opposition? I want to tell Ms. Bissetta, it's property tax all you don't want to pay. It's 15 years now. You hear what I'm saying, Bruce and Dominic? 15 years. I want you to calculate it I calculate it at 200 million a year. If you was a Shania, I know it's more than that, but if you was, that's $3 billion. We protesting about the roads and water and lights and everything. $3 billion in 15 years. You didn't think some kind of alleviation of the problems in roads would have fixed? Ms. Bissetta, you are talking to, I wonder if Mr. Villafana alive, Mr. X, I wonder if you're alive till drawing pension and you don't want to pay property tax. Bruce and Dominic, I know you will have the calculation and know the numbers. But I think something like 16 cents a year used to pay for agricultural land, and people used to be paying some, I want to call wrong figures, I know, 180 something a year on the property. If you was showing you, I don't have $1 million property. And they say the most $1 million property will pay with this property taxes about $1,700. So if you have a property more than $1 million, you know you have to pay more money if you was showing you. So right now, people giggling and laughing. I would like the government to say it's retroactive. You know, everybody will say the government wicked and bad and all kind of different excuses and adjectives they would want to explain to try to put up for the government. But it is property tax, Ms. Bissetta. You can't fool me. You might be fooling other people. But you cannot fool in this nation. It's property tax, all you don't want to pay. And that is what making the government unable to fulfill some of its services to the Burgesses of Trinidad and Tobago. And until all you get the government, I ain't talking to the no opposition, I'm talking to the government, until you get property tax going, Mr. Prime Minister, everything will be just as it is. Because all the corporation doesn't have no material to do nothing. Most of the money will be just to do skimpish things. But if property tax come within the mix they know, I think more will be done. Dominic and Bruce, have a nice day. Trinidad and Tobago, PNM, government, happy celebration on the second anniversary. You have 3 more years to go. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello, morning.
Morning, Dominic. Morning, Bruce.
Morning.
Yeah, I want to speak today about something. I want to talk about this PSA and some public servants. I want to say good morning, first of all, to all the hard-working public servants out there. Dominic, I get to report some people who have small businesses, right? And this is some of the things that Lambert and Anaset and these guys not are addressing. We could never go forward as a nation, Dominic and Bruce, when you have people on the port sticking up people's goods. When people have to spend a certain money to bring in little containers and you're forcing them to keep the goods for days, you're putting pressure on small businesses in this country just for them to get overtime and excess money and for people to grease the wheel. I want to hear Anaset and these fellas address that. Bruce and Dominic, why we must have in our country doctors and nurses and health professionals working both public and private and putting pressure on some of the public officials to come to the private places of business and spend their money when they can get things done at the government hospital, and you're literally stalling operations and so on for poor people in this country to come to all the private sector. These are the things I would like to hear Michael Anisette and all these so-called public, these so-called leaders and then the trade union address. And until we deal with these matters, we go nowhere in this country. You understand? We have everything is PNM, and the government, but all of us addressing the issues that the public, which is paying all your billions of dollars, have to be going through in this country. Bruce and Dominic, I looked on all your good program as usual. I looked on and listened, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, morning.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, is that where they want in this country to bring back the UNC and all the men and them?
Don't know what happened there. All right. Hello, good morning.
Dominic and Bruce, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, Dominic, that guy you calling and talking about people who want to pay their property tax, that has not really been established as yet. Nobody started paying property tax. But HTC payments is long entrenched. Why he and he friend of them don't want to pay HTC? HTC busted the tune of about $1 billion. If they have a door hinge break on the door, they call in HTC to fix it, and HTC have no money. Where in the world, Dominic, you're going to get a two bedroom apartment with toilet and bath for $100, and a three bedroom apartment for $200 or $300? Which part? Let me tell you something. I am willing to pay property tax if the government make NHA apartments market value. $2,500, $3,000. Make it like that. Let it pay, remove all the subsidy. You know the government want to move subsidy. Move all the subsidy from HDC. Move all the subsidy from PTSC. Move all the subsidy from the air bridge and the sea bridge and all them kind of things. Let we have equity in this country. Don't only be calling on we to pay property tax, and all over the world we paying property tax. All over the world people just pay their rent and their mortgage, and if they don't, they're out on the street. So all that Bota Bank, which is HDC, that the government is subsidizing, let these people pay what it is cost so the HDC can run their business. And I don't want my property tax to run into HDC to fix any apartment for people who don't want to pay. Thank you very much, Dominic Andrews.
Thank you, Central. Oh, Lord. 6 or what happened does not direct, you know.
The man working...
living in a HDC
house. Essentially, good, yes.
Oh, gosh. You know. Sometimes Central you're confused me, you know. So he's advocating for the removal of all subsidies, right? I don't think Central is fully aware of how many things in this country are subsidized.
Really?
Yeah. Water is subsidized, right? Imagine you have people, Bruce, paying $106 every 3 months for water, right? They probably have, some people have 3, 4, 800-gallon tanks, 600-gallon tanks, 1,000-gallon tanks in there. You're paying $106 every 3 months. But yet still you're going by every week you're going to the grocery and you're buying blue water, the big thing, yeah? That is put in the that we have downstairs. Yeah, we put in the water dispenser, $30-something for that, right? So you're buying one of that every week. Talking privately, because there are people with that, even though they don't have the dispensers at home, they'll put the water, whether it be in the mug or a bottle or something, or they have the dispensers they can actually put at the top of the water. So you're spending more money in a month to buy that than you're paying water, right? Yeah.
It makes sense, Dominic.
Yeah.
The water, they go say the water ain't clean.
Mm-hmm.
They say that there are times when they just get moby, which is true. They just get a little moby.
Yes, yeah, very true.
But most of the time when that happens is because a repair was done, right? And then it will take a little time for the water to come out. At least that is what I used to go on my side.
Yeah.
I don't know for everybody else who... But at the end of the day, remove all the subsidies.
Yeah.
You sure you know what you're saying there, my boy?
Electricity is subsidized.
Nah, these things not subsidized, Dominic.
Eh.
Nah, them things are subsidized.
The air bridge is subsidized, the sea bridge is subsidized. So when you jump on it, now he's saying remove all of these subsidies and then he'll pay property tax. Well, let me tell you something essential. If the government were to take your advice and remove all them subsidies, you ain't gonna have money to pay property tax. As a matter of fact, you ain't gonna have money to live. You will end up on the street, right? Because you will have to sell your house to live. Because the amount of things that are subsidized are being even by there are certain. I mean, it's ridiculous, Bruce. And these are the things that people don't like to talk about, right? The fact that, and maybe if more people would take the time to do the research and understand where the money, the government spends the money, they wouldn't be griping and complaining as much. Because the roads could be fixed, you know. We can have the best roads in Trinidad and Tobago, but it comes at a price. It means then that the money that the government could use to pave the roads, they would have to take it from somewhere else. And I don't know if it is that some people in this country figure that the treasury is a bottomless pit, or that Dr. Rowley have a magic wand that he could wave or call members. They just go stand up in the treasury, clap twice, do the dirty wine, and all of a sudden money appear. Yeah? That's the impression I get from some people.
I was once told that Central Bank had the printing the press.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, tell you that.
You know,
he said you getting tied up downstairs in the basement. They print money down there.
Yeah.
So what they can't print money unless we have. What
and again, it demonstrates people don't understand why the government cannot print money. Right? The United States can do that. China can do that. We can't do that because for the simple reason, our money, the TT dollar, is not a reserve currency. In the United States, they could print money because as fast as they print money, the money leaves in the country. So it's not to say that you're going to have this money remaining in circulation within the territorial border of the United States to cause that much inflation. Because all over the world, people are demanding US dollars, people hoarding US dollars, whether it's being held in the central banks around the world. So just like here, I mean, you have money here, hard currency is being held. So as fast as it is printed, you put it out there, people spend, but it leaves the country so they could continue to do that without experiencing high inflation. There is no demand for the TT dollar around the world, right? So if we print, the money gonna stay here, and the more money that it have within the system, gonna cause problems.
What you just say? It have plenty people.
Yeah.
Pass over there.
Yes.
Yeah, straight over there.
For those of us who study economics, and we know the basic economic problem is too many dollars chasing too few goods, right? Scarcity, unlimited wants, and limited resources to satisfy those wants. And that's basically what it is. And as Minister, but I played a clip here, Bruce, sometime last week or week before, with Coleman Bertie did an interview with Rhoda Barath. And he was making the point about the issue of subsidies and how much money the government spends in subsidies. And he was saying that right now the government is paying about $14 per litre for fuel, but selling it at $6 at the pump. So every time we go to the gas station, a motorist goes to the gas station, for every litre that you put in your tank, and you pay $5.90 something for, the government has to pay $8. Add $8 to that. They have to take $8 now from the coffers of the treasury. Take $8 of your taxpayers' money to subsidize. So when your tank holding 45 and 50 liters, study that now. Multiply that by 8, and see how much money it is that the government has to take to pay to assist you. But when it is that we get a little with the increase by $1, you vex, right?
So I will call you back and tell you go in the HSF fund.
Yeah. When the HSF fund, apparently people don't understand what the HSF fund, the purpose of that is either heritage and stabilization. They don't understand the stabilization part. Again, when you're intellectually lazy, I ain't speaking to you, Central, I mean in general, take the time to just, the smartphone all you have in all your hand is not just to go up on Facebook and go on YouTube and TikTok, right? There's something there called Google. Use it now. But have other search engines as well. And just type in the Heritage and Stabilization Fund Act. And read the act and see what it says and understand how the fund is supposed to work. That when there is a shortage in government revenue, so that when there's a shortfall in the actual revenue over what was projected, the law allows the government to go into the fund and withdraw money to make up that shortfall. The alternative is to borrow. When you borrow, you have to pay interest. You know how much money goes down the drain in interest payments because the state has to be borrowing money again to continue to pay subsidies? Everything we want subsidized. Imagine people complaining, I see the ads coming up. We complain about the state of healthcare. Oh, I'm paying health surcharge. You're paying $400 and something a year in health surcharge, but you want to go to the hospital and you want the best treatment. I must get the best treatment, so I ain't feeling good. They must give me a CT scan, MRI, check my blood pressure, run every blood test humanly possible, right? Because I pay $430 something for the year.
While you're at it, I'll take a A1C too.
Yes. HbA1, everything. and then fill my prescription too before I leave the hospital. After they discharge me, I'm able to go downstairs and get all my medication. Why? Because I'm paying $434 a year in health surcharge. But when you go by the private doctor, every time you walk in the office, $300. Up the doctor and check your head, he ask you a question, $300. Right? We coming back after the ads.
Oi, 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 oi! The stage gone bad! IWER! Well, when I went to Panorama, the stage was good. I come back for the Mashga, the stage was good. Ever fucking this carnival, the stage was good. It was a, sing my part, a paradise! But when I come back on Carnival Day, and I hear the big truck start to play, tell them where we are, the truck is trouble. They said the stage not good again. The stage not good again. We said the stage not good again. After we jump about that man, you know the... Hey, come to mash it up, sell it up, and turn it over. Mash it up, sell it up, and turn it over. Mash it up, sell it up, and turn it over. Mash it up, sell it up, and turn it over. Show your rock in the face, up and show your rock in the face, up and show your rock in the face. Bobby B. Martin. When we behave so bad, Georgia trick back. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. When I went to Panorama, the stage was good. I want to hear them. Everybody knows something. When I went to Panorama, I come back for the Mashga. Stage was good. Even King's Carnival. Stage was nice. It was a paradise. Keep it low. But when I come back, hold on. But when I come back on Carnival Day, and I hear the big truck start to play, tell them when I was judge and ding dong and humor, tell them it's trouble because you man not good again. Love you. Love. Yeah. Every Friday, it's all about Firewood Soca Fridays with MC Duke and Selector Kochi from 6 straight to 9 p.m. blazing all the latest and past soca hits. So remember, make it a line, make it a day, rock and come in, you know. It's all about Firewood Soca Fridays on the Street 919 FM. Don't know.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for the program The Final Hour with Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr. and his wife Nikki Garcia for the Bible study every Thursday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mark chapter 16 verse 15 says, "Go into all the world and preach this gospel for every creature, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation."
You are invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at numbers 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the old-time gospel hour all-night prayer. This and every Friday evening on the Street 919 FM from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Designed with you in mind, this program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He hath showed thee, O man, what is good and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to justly and to love mercy and walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. For further information, call 753-1113 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Tune into the street 91.9 FM
Every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
for the Repairing of the Breach radio program with me, Bishop Showinal Thomas.
The scripture says, And they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places.
Thou shalt raise up the foundation of many generations, and thou shalt be called the repairers of the breach, the restorers of the paths to dwell in.
Don't miss it. Repairing the Breach radio program with Bishop Sherwin R. Thomas on the Street 919 FM every Sunday from 10:05 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Good about I'm looking like it real bad.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat I look like it as well.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
And welcome back. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. If you're just joining us, you're tuned into Titans of Democracy with your host this morning, Dominic. And Bruce Sharon is out this morning, so I'm holding on for her. Right, so so let's get into the issues of the day. So Central kind of preempted what it is I wanted to touch on this morning as we mark today the second anniversary of the PNM's victory at the polls on August 10th, 2020, which ushered in their second consecutive term in office. Dr. Rowley, of course, being, once he completes his term, would be only the second Prime Minister in the history of Trinidad and Tobago to complete more than one full term. We know there were two other Prime Ministers who would have had opportunity or occasion to do such a thing, but unfortunately didn't. In the case of Basdio Pandey, who had won a second term in the year 2000, but because of, infighting in the UNC and so on, he only served 1 year in his second term, having to call election in 2001, which resulted in the 1818 deadlock, and then in 2002, October, the PNM successful at the polls under Patrick Manning, and albeit that Mr. Manning would have had, the opportunity to serve a second full term, unfortunately, he called the elections early in 2010, and we know what the outcome of that was. So, there's an article in today's Guardian entitled, As PNM Completes 7th Year in Office, Penny Favored Among Public. It says, as PNMs. Come now, man. Guardian, you'll have an editor. You'll need to pay Winford James $25,000 to edit. Yeah, to edit the titles of your articles. Or they could call Fally. Ask Fally how to do it. Or if Fally don't have Winford number, ask Fally. You can give Fally 25,000 of the very best. Before I get into the article, let me just check something here, right, Bruce? As I saw this and I don't want to miss it. I saw like, I get the impression that notwithstanding the utterances of the political leader of the United National Congress on Monday night and her refusal to admonish Anil Roberts for his nastiness, I don't know if somebody else read her the riot act or read him the riot act, but he has not been on social media for the last 2 days. Yeah, I don't know. And normally he would do 2, 3, 4 lives for the day. You have doubles and coffee first thing in the morning, and then you have Douglas politics. But yeah, I feel so. Or somebody probably call Kamala and say, listen, rein in that man, because you see, if you don't do that, that is going to affect our chances at the poll. So while she want to blame Prabi Daji on the forum, she call him, Anil, oh, you could do that. You can't do that. You know, every time an election, we have an election on the local government. You know, every time I say something like that, and then the PNM sympathizers come on and then blows and we all close. Yeah. Please, Anil, give us a few more now. Yeah. Yeah, gosh, but right now the man probably laid out in the bed, you know, like a drug addict who going through withdrawal. And they've been lying on the trembling and stuff and they're sweating, cold sweating. Man, oh God, I want to do a life. What to do? You know what to do with yourself. Eh? And you're chirping. And the rest of them are touching that issue with a 10-foot pole, eh? Yeah, he on his own with that. Yeah, the afraid lawsuit. Okay. That's blended. Yes.
Look at the ones who doing all the dotishness.
Yes.
All the clown talk. The misinformed information.
Yeah. All the restock coming from the UNC camp. And I was talking to a colleague of mine yesterday and I was asking him, you know, if he is of the view that the majority of people who support the PNM vote based on race, and he was telling me yes, and I said I totally disagree with that, because whenever the PNM loses an election, you don't see a barrage of PNM people on social media with a set of racial talk. But as we saw in 2015 and again in 2020, calling people cockroach and all kind of thing, and increase the prices of your goods and services for persons of African descent and all that. You mustn't forget that. The Ramsaran girl. All of these things. Yeah. You all don't forget that, eh? That whenever an election is lost by the PNM or the UNC, check social media, and if you want to see where the race issue comes from, listen, read the contributions or the comments from the person supporting the party that lost, and you would understand where the race thing really comes from. Because since for the last couple of weeks, all the race talk you're hearing has been coming from persons in the UNC camp. Anil Roberts and talking about and naked, and who is house Negroes and all kind of them, putting on African garb for a few days. Well, I don't know if he was talking to Tahaka Obika, you know, but these guys like Tahaka Obika and Sean Sobers and stuff. I don't know what I really feel by. Huh, Mr. Obika? Anyway, you had nothing to say about what Naked said. But any from Njak? Anyway, I just wanted to read this before I get into the article. I'm going to let this one pass. And this is from a profile called the Siparia Sukuya. You know, anyway, yeah. THA now means travel and hospitality for assemblymen. In the space of 1 month, Megan and crew gone Grenada. Watson and his sweet Trini girls gone USA. Tashia and her next crew gone St. Vincent. Witty or Whitey fly out this week too. This after the staycation at Blue Waters Inn, where assemblymen spent several nights just to attend Heritage in Charlottesville. Like them, I live in Tobago. Tobagonians, how are they feeling? Right? How are they feeling? So a staycation at Blue Waters Inn, Bruce. Bruce, how big Tobago is? That's like, I live in Arriba. It have... yeah, you know? The carnival at Port of Spain. It taken me less than an hour to get to Port of Spain, but I say, you know what? Not too far. I stay in the Hyatt. But yeah, so these guys, they go to Heritage in Charlottesville and I just stay at the Blue Waters Inn because, yeah, well, that's easy, you know. But anyway, it have money for that. Never see, come see. Yeah. I wonder. I think at some point in time during the course of the day, I'm going to check Bernie Jack Gregg's Facebook page to see if she's speaking on these issues. You know, they have money. No money to buy water, no money to buy, give you all a drink of coffee or nothing, but they have money for staycation and everybody flying out. Well, all right, as the perks of the office, but nobody in the UNC talking about that. No, we praise Fali. That's transformational leadership. Yeah, transforming the pockets. As PNM completes 7 years in office, penny fever among public. There's a story by Shalisa Hassan Ali in today's Guardian. As the People's National Movement's 7th year in office comes to an end, citizens feel their lives have been regressing under the government with key issues not being addressed. However, Arima MP Penelope Beckles is among the favoured MPs in constituencies canvassed by Guardian Media. On August 10, 2020, the PNM, under the leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, captured 22 of the 41 seats in the general election, giving them a second term to manage the country's affairs. The party has had to deal with several critical issues during their governance thus far, and among them the COVID-19 pandemic, rising food prices, turbulent economy, increased unemployment, a spike in crime and murders. That has upset me, Bruce. A spike in crime and murder. So murder is not a crime. A spike in crime, full stop. Or if you want to say a spike in murders, full stop. But a spike in crime and murders, murder is a crime. Shalisa. Okay, maybe they really need to hire Winford. You would have tell them that. Yeah, deplorable roads, poor delivery of water. Guardian Media visited 4 PNM controlled constituencies last week to gauge from residents the performance of the government and their MPs in the last year. Many of the constituents we spoke to admitted they felt neglected, unrepresented, and stagnated. Sitting under a tree in the company of a group of men in Tishie Village, Point Fortin, Otis Bestry said jobs were lacking in their community, while he said the PNM needed to bring new faces to the party. On a scale of 1 to 10, Bestry rated the PNM and his MP Kennedy Richards' performance at 2, pointing out that in the last year they have seen no improvements in their area. Resident Dale Calder gave the government a 4. Both men described themselves as die-hard PNM, and Calder said outsiders were being given jobs over residents while their roads were slowly deteriorating. The PNM needs young blood. The old heads don't want to leave. They're holding on to power, but we need young people with new ideas to make a change, Bestry said. He said the party he once supported has also turned its back on the poor. Okay. They're not doing anything for us here, he said, voicing his displeasure. In Faris Al-Rawi's San Fernando West constituency, the cries were no different. 7 vendors peddling fish at the market at King's Wharf expressed disgust at the facility's poor conditions. Malfunctioning toilets, no electricity, and a leaking roof were some of the problems the vendors griped about. And the vendors gave Al-Rawi a 0 rating when asked to assess his performance. Vendor Ijahaman Levi Russell said they only see Al-Rawi when there is a media event in the area. Other than that, he does not come around. As citizens, our lives are not progressing, Russell said. Another vendor said they were fed up with the empty promises, and a promise is a comfort to a fool. And that is how we are being treated right now, like fools, he remarked. Despite Arima having the highest murder and crime rates in the country and frequent water woes, its MP, Penelope Beckles, came in for heavy praises from constituents, many of whom described her as a workhorse. In Matarita, where they have been ongoing gang wars, one resident of Buru Avenue who requested anonymity said Beckles always makes herself available to the people. And that's what representation is about. Penny may not be able to provide for all of our needs, but she has a genuine heart. I would give her a rating of 7. Before I continue, I just want to stop right there for a minute, Bruce. You see that there? That there? That is what representation is about. Penny may not be able to provide for all of our needs, but she has a genuine heart. And I think not enough representatives understand that. Whether it be local government or at the parliamentary level, that you may not be able to provide, but just once you make yourself available to the people and you give them a listening ear, that goes beyond just your office day. So you come and see me in the office and I pull out a manila folder and I take copious notes and I put it back and I tell you we will contact you. It needs to go beyond that, right? And people need to see you. Now, based on what this guy is saying, I mean, I see, Penny's always on the move. Always doing things. I mean, I saw her the other day, a video posted on Facebook on her page. where she's working at somewhere up in Arima. I don't know if it's a Blanche, and Penny is working on a hillside, Bruce, that looking so, right? Yeah. She was going to deliver some food package or whatever, and I am saying, what madness is this? One wrong step and you going tumbling down. Yeah. I saw something yesterday where she was playing the Marac for Los Alumnos de San Juan, the Santa Rosa people had some event or something, and she was there, and so on. But politicians in general, representatives, as I said, local government or parliamentary, that is what is needed. And one of the most echoed sentiments that you're hearing right now is people just saying, you need to come on the ground, just to listen to what the people are saying, and that gives the impression that you care, because you see, people formulate in their minds, Bruce, their own opinion as to the performance of the politicians. But if you go on the ground and you talk to people and you let them know, well, look, it's not that we don't hear you, It's not that we don't want to help you, We're doing the best that we can. This is what we could do right now, and these are the resources. And that is what the people want to hear. But if it is that they're crying out and they're not getting the responses that they're looking for, you want water, road bad. So the Minister of Works and Transport would have announced last week also that the government just doesn't have the money to fix all the roads right now. That's all I mean. All you have money to fix the road, but all you have money for, and money for.
That's the next thing. You want to see a representative. I agree with that. Full 100. When the representative comes, you don't cuss and carry on like you're a damn no area.
Correct.
You wouldn't get anything done that way. Because you of your own self, if somebody comes to you for anything and they come at you like that, they're not going to get anything from you.
Correct.
So we had to watch that. Then the other thing is this. I see they're talking about the facilities or something like that. On too many occasions I have seen where you have a place, whether it be storeroom, whatever the place is, there are toilet facilities there, and hear the nonsense. Who mash up the seat? Who thief the guts inside the toilet?
Right.
Who go on with the whole toilet set?
Yeah.
Well, you come on.
Yeah.
Now, when you put somebody in charge of maintaining the facilities, is always a problem with only and that person.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking in general here. Right? It's always a problem. Because why? I want to use the toilet and they only had the place lock up. But every time you go in the toilet and you come back out, there's problems.
Yes.
So then you're deliberately doing strippiness inside a day.
Yeah.
All these little things, Dominic, this add up. So when you hear, most of the times when I hear people talking about, and the government and them, they ain't seen about the facilities. It's not the government coming and use the facility. It's not your representative coming and use. It's you all right there self using it.
Yeah.
So come on, if they put something they brand new for it, I could understand. Okay, like in anybody's home, the thing might break, the handle might break. You change that. The seat might break. You change that. Yeah. Little things. But don't come and tell me the whole when I went and the facility, and when I go in there, whole toilet set missing.
Yeah.
So wait gone. Who moved that?
Walk away. The elders are the shoemaker.
Dominic, I just bring it real, At the end of the day, I tell you, I just see it because I remember I ain't gonna call the facility, I ain't gonna even say where. That was the complaint. And the person braced me. All you on radio talking about PNM this, PNM that, PNM the other. Look what's going on here. When I do so. Because he complaining, but he and all I know.
Yeah.
I say, there's a toilet? Yes, what you mean there's a toilet? Yes, there's a toilet. I say, well, it's missing a whole toilet set. You know all the talk done?
Yeah.
I say, nah, where you going? Come now, man, with the toilet set for inside here.
Yeah.
I ain't himself seen that, okay, it break. Now, I don't really think, I could be wrong, that you will go and sit on a toilet and the whole thing will mash up. I don't really think that has happened. People are like, can help me out here.
Yeah.
I don't think that has happened. So if I go into any facility and I see the whole toilet set mash up, that means somebody deliberately did that.
Correct. And who get blamed for it?
Right. Because it's the government. But the government
it's a
come
government
there.
facility.
And they come in and they're using it.
Yeah.
Right? Right. pay only $2 down by PTSC.
Yes, that will assist with maintenance.
Right.
Yeah.
So we ain't gotta worry about the guy say, boy, if you see how the toilet down by PTSC is, well, they say how that again. Pay $2 so they go maintain and handle the scene proper fair.
Yes.
More than one.
That's why the banks that's why the banks doesn't want to let they use the toilet anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. Assessing Beckles' accomplishments, businessman and former president of the Arima Business Association, Rival Chattagoon, also gave Beckles a 7, saying the MP has been working with the police to address the crime situation in the borough. Penny would work with the people and quietly get things done, Chattagoon said. In 2020, resident Bobby Bash said he pleaded with Beckles to assist in getting Dump Road paved and for a higher police presence due to crime in the community. Bash said the government did not have the funding to pave the road, but the police have been making regular patrols and he gave Beckles a passing grade. Residents of Tarodale and Brian Manning's San Fernando East constituency meanwhile voiced their displeasure over the deplorable roads, lack of drainage, floods and sewer water accumulating in front of their homes. For pensioner Sonilal Sicharan, his issues are never ending. Whenever it rains, the area below Sicharan's HTC house floods as the water... Listen. Guardian, all you really need to hire to retain Winford James, right? You all can retain me too. Because I see in these little issues here that it's annoying, right? Especially if you have, what do you call it? OCD. When it comes to poor grammar. Fix all this, please, Guardian. Right. As the water has nowhere to run off, there are potholes in the roads, some of which were patched with concrete. Stating the government's performance left much to be desired, Sicharan said Manning deserves a 5 rating. Nearby, Yalas Avenue resident Terence Perryman spoke about the land in front of his home shifting, which has been causing the pillars under his HTC home to crack and lean. A collection of sewer water was also seen in front of his gap. PNM not even helping their own. I, who is a PNM, have nothing good to say about them. Manning would get a 0 from me. Frustrated Thornhill Street Cookie resident Dion Daniel said for months he has been seeking employment at Manning's constituency office, but nothing happening, and I know Manning has pulled through in the past, so I would give him a 7. PRO happy with efforts. Having faced unprecedented trials and an unstable, ruthless, and unpatriotic opposition in the last year, the People's National Movement still managed to govern the country with distinction under the leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. This is the view of the party's PRO, Laura Lizama Leasing, as she gave Guardian Media an overview of the performance of some of the party's ministers and MPs, ahead of the party completing its 7th year in office today, August 10th. Lizama Leasing said Finance Minister Colman Burt has done a remarkable job in managing the economy and keeping the country resilient as well as buffering against worldwide extremes. Minister of Sport and Community Development Shamfa Kudjo, she said, has meanwhile ensured that community activities are on the rise again. She must also be commended for the emphasis on national athletes who continue to do their best to represent our country against the best in the world, Lizama Leasing said. She said the Ministry of the Attorney General and Legal Affairs also maintained a robust and relevant legislative agenda over the last year. Legislation relevant to the protection of women, national security, including bail amendment, local government reform and other important matters took precedence and was brought to both houses of parliament for debate. It's a pity that the opposition has been so reckless and irresponsible, clearly not seeking the best interest of our nation's people and doing all that it can to undermine any and all efforts, the PRO said. Lizama Leasing said Camille Robinson Regis, who served in the capacity of Planning and Development Minister, undertook a lot of work for her successor, Penelope Beckles. They have clearly recognized that climate change is very real and have championed the preservation of the environment as a priority, she said. Efforts to protect the ocean and the Earth's climate engine have been sustained, and this must be commended. It is now for the general population to now become more attuned to the reality that it's our responsibility to look for and take care of the country and the planet. She praised the Ministry of Agriculture's Food Bags initiative as a resounding success under then Minister Clarence Rambarat's tenure. Lizama Leasing applauded the Minister of Youth Development and National Science. Guardian, better than that. Nah, man. Bruce, I feel I need to take a red pen, print out this article, take a red pen and send it to them with my business card. Come now, man, Guardian, really? Yeah, Foster comments for distinguishing himself as a champion of and for the young people of the country. The youth, according to Lazama Leasing, has seen an explosion of opportunity. I'll agree with that. Through his ministry and because of his vision, there is a project, a course, a training opportunity, a growth and development mechanism for every youth who wants the chance. From tractor driving classes to highly subscribed agriculture homestead project to entrepreneurial grants via NEDCO, etc., there is something for everyone. The Prime Minister, the PM, Minister of CARICOM and Foreign Affairs, Amory Brown, and Health Minister Terence Deyalsingh also provided sterling leadership for the management of the country, the health system, and the successful and effective parallel health system and the acquisition of vaccine, she said. So she goes on to talk about the different ministers. Public Utilities Minister Marvin Gonzalez, as Ahmed Singh said, has distinguished himself as a man serious about the business of making state-provided utilities efficient. There are concerted efforts, however, to make this country ungovernable. Seemingly deliberate acts of sabotage at booster stations and in other state spaces are clear indicators that there are those who are determined to wreak havoc on the nation and our people. The inconveniences, unnecessary expense, loss of productive national man-hours, forced public and private sector closures, all of these consequences of ruthless acts are avoidable, but the minister and the government will continue to do what they must. Lazama Leasing commended the MPs without portfolios who have been champions for their constituents and communities. She credited MPs Roger Munro, Keith Scotland, and Kennedy Richards for their excellence in serving their constituencies and advocating for their people. This is not to say that MPs who have portfolios have not been working. They certainly have been working hand in hand with their constituents. Right? So that is, in a nutshell, an assessment of the PNM as they mark the second anniversary of their second victory at the polls. And you know, it's there's a lot to take note of inside there, Bruce. And I you know, again, this what we read there is just people expressing their opinions and their views, and you can't dismiss it. If this is how people feel, this is how people feel. Yeah. And so it is up now. It's up to these MPs now, whose names have been called and their ratings. Some of them might disagree, but and it's not to dismiss anybody, even though you may know better or you may know that you are working, but perhaps certain residents are not feeling the effects or seeing the effects of what you are doing. It's to reach out to these people, right? And it could go a very, very long way, because you could just go and have a conversation with this person and change their mind, and they could then you know, speak to people, other persons who are this one, and say, well, you know, the man really come and he talk to me and he says so, and he explained this to me. I really didn't see it that way, as the case may be, right? So, one of the main issues facing the country right now is bad roads, poor roads, right? And the government has indicated we don't have the money to fix all of the roads. But what I find unfortunate is that when there's some remedy brought to the situation, there is no recognition for it. So as I was coming here this morning, I noticed several of the roads that had, you know, holes and stuff that they patch. Yeah. So you don't need to pave the whole road, which is good. And as I call these, this is low-lying fruit. And it's unfortunate too that people don't understand what is the responsibility of the Ministry of Works and Transport and what is the responsibility of local government. So there are some roads that Works and Transport responsible for, and some roads that the local government entities are responsible. But as far as the country concerned, it's the Ministry of Works and Rohan Sunanan. Every road is Rohan to fix. So money is being given to corporations to fix roads, but Rohan had to fix that. If it ain't fixed, right, blame the government. So, and one cannot discount the possibility that in UNC-controlled constituencies, that the corporations would deliberately choose not to pave the road, if only because they figure bad road means a bad rep for the government. And while we only, and you see, Dr. Rowley some time ago would have made the statement, you need to wean yourself off of the government. And that was perhaps one of his most misinterpreted statements, right? Misinterpreted statements. The UNC used that as a football. Oh God, all the way they play. Yeah, Rowley say? Yeah. Every road, every school. Yeah. Wean yourself off the government. So the 1% and them must feed up the treasury, but the rest are with the poor man at the... Yeah. Right? And I would have given the context in which the Prime Minister made that statement, where he talked about an article he had read in the newspaper where a certain businessman had indicated he felt that the budget lacked a stimulus package for the business community. So the government was supposed to put money in the budget to assist the business community with respect to their business endeavors and so on. And the Prime Minister is making every school to build, every road to pave, everything is the government and the government and the government. Bruce, we have a thriving private sector in this country. Yes, there are businesses that have been negatively impacted by coming out of COVID and so on. But there are lots of businesses that are doing well. Most of the banks, if not all of the banks, are reporting increased profits. Republic Bank, for the 9 months ended June, $1.15 billion in profits. Not revenue, profits. $1.15 billion. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Country.
Correct.
What does that say about us?
What does it say? Indeed. And then, but people love to buy into this narrative from the UNC about the economy and the brink, and because we have a media that only focuses on the hardship and not really the other side of it. So I was looking the other night at the news, where the sales of Volvos is up 80%. Volvo. Yeah. Volvo not cheap.
You telling me?
And when they said the models, Bruce, that were more sold, the XC90, Bruce, starts at about 700 and something thousand for one. And if you want it customized to your liking, could cost anywhere up to $1.2, $1.3 million. And we have people in this country, Bruce, that are buying those vehicles. Right? 80% increase. Not 10, not 15, 80% increase. But the economy on the brink. Everybody's suffering. Right now it's only the Syrian Lebanese community buying those vehicles. And it's only the Syrian Lebanese community buying them.
I like
Volvo is a very nice brand. Very, very nice brand.
And you wouldn't believe that?
Yeah.
There's a guy we was doing some work for, and I asked him about the Volvo he had, and he was explaining to me, he said, boy, I didn't buy that with my personal money.
Yeah.
I have a business that's a business vehicle.
Right.
I said, okay.
Yeah.
He gave me a drop home in that, and I didn't want to come out the man.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Look, I went into Kia the other day, right? The new Kia Sportage, the 2022. So I went to check it out. Because it's time for me to make to upgrade, right? Yeah, I just can't decide what to buy because I have so many options. And I went in there, and the guy is telling me, he's like, well, you know, the next shipment coming in August, but all that book out, all that sell out already. Yeah, they don't have pre-orders, long time for all of that, you know.
And they bring in 10 cars, eh?
No. And the fully loaded is $327,000 for the fully loaded, and the model below that is $277 or something. The entire shipment. Yeah. Pre-orders. Sell off. But we suffering.
Yeah, man.
Things bad in the country. Everywhere you turn, things hard. People suffering. While you were reading the headlines, I was on Facebook and I noticed I was reading a story. But not a story, a salesperson from Nissan waiting for the stock. Frustrated because people want the cars, Bruce. They want the cars. Yeah. They're waiting on the car. People then put in the order ready, banked and approved loan is just for the vehicle to come in, register your job.
Incentive nice.
But we suffering.
Incentive nice.
Yeah. We suffering. Things hard. Bacchanal Road, Josie's Jamishness, Stink and Dirty. Every fet sell off. Tickets $1,200, $1,500. 1,700, but we suffering.
The last time I hear about a ticket for an event that cost over $1,000 was Insomnia back in my day. And when I tell you, when you reach down by Insomnia and you realize you can't get in because you don't have a ticket, and a man come and you watch him ball, yeah, big man, where's he seeing $1,000 for a ticket that you could have probably paid $200 for it?
Yes.
It reach $1,000. $1,000? I know single about 3.
Yeah. People walk away with their money.
You mean?
Yeah.
We don't have money, Dominic.
We don't have money. Things so hard. We suffering.
Trinidadians' money does just run a little low. That is it.
Yeah.
But don't have, that ain't happening.
Right.
We go run a little low, you know. We mightn't be able to do this right now.
Yeah.
But don't feel that we can't do it. It could happen. It will happen. One bank reporting profits of 1 point something billion, you say, no?
1 point, yeah. That's for the quarter ended. So they still have 1 quarter.
And that's just a
September,
quarter, right? That's just a quarter.
3 quarters. So they still have the last quarter. Yeah? So probably looking at about $1.5 billion in profits for the year. But things hard. And Samakal, Angostura, all of these different companies are here. Agostini the other day. Increased revenue, 3 billion dollars. Profits galore all over the country.
All we need to do is we need to find out the person in charge of the dictionary.
Yes.
So they could change the meaning of hard.
Yeah.
Hard don't mean what we think it always used to mean. I not hard no more. When people say, boy, things hard, they living nice.
But my friend from New Jersey, yesterday when he called, he used an acronym CSR, right? Corporate Social Responsibility. Apparently, the citizens of this country forget what that is about. That all these corporate entities that are making all of this supernormal profits, apparently they don't have a responsibility to the country. Yeah? So, when they make all of these profits, right, and they pay their shareholders and whatnot and stuff, and the directors, the managers, whoever it is making the big money and driving the big cars and all of that. But you want to ask these corporate entities to give back to the country. I keep making the point. We have all of these big contractors, Bruce, that making hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in profits from paving roads, right? You tell me, they can't say, well, come to the government and say, well, we see the problem in the country. How hard it is to get back and say, well, for the 60th anniversary, we will come together and we'll pay 60 euros. They can't do that. No. Can't do that.
You mad? When I check my money coming back,
yeah.
They ain't telling they're losing money, no, they're losing profit.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, you know.
Right.
I'm not losing money, I'm losing profit. Nah, boy, I can't lose profit.
Yeah. Imagine you have one of the contractors, I ain't gonna call the name, but every time they have a major road project, and the contractor on site, a fleet of Range Rovers. Fleet of Range Rovers, right? This contractor owns a private jet. A private jet, Bruce. Go on the Sun Instagram page and you'll see a flower. Yeah. Yachts. Yeah. Not plural, eh? Yachts. Sorry, not singular, plural. Right? Yeah. Jet setting. But we can't get back to the country to pave a few roads. Never mind the fact that it's your trucks contributing to the state of the roads.
No, there's a whole next program right there, you know.
Yeah.
Because I watching something from Carnage. When the whatever boats coming down at the ports down there.
Yeah.
And the crane lifts off whatever is on the boat. Because nothing else can't take it off. No forklift can't take it off.
Yeah.
Crane take it off. And then you put these things on these trailers.
Yeah.
And roll out. And this is almost every single day.
Yeah.
Back and forth. Sometimes when you come in around that little hill there before you reach Big Yard, you have to be careful because sometimes a truck coming around there with a trailer and you have to take it a little wide.
Yeah.
If you in good face, if you end up in the water. I ask the question, is there no ports in South?
Yeah.
Because most of these things, most of them, head into that direction.
Right.
So the boat can go south and offload down there instead of having these things running up and down on the road.
That's the thing.
A man tell me, he said, you know how much money it is to carry that by sea from day to day?
Yeah.
It's cheaper to do it on land.
Right.
I say, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. My bad.
Yeah.
Me to mind my damn business.
But I've heard a lot of people saying that under the People's Partnership things was better, things was nicer. People had jobs and whatnot and stuff. At the end of the day, the government has a difficult balancing act, right, to deal with. How do we satisfy the needs of all of the people with limited resources? This administration, 7 years, for the first 5, didn't have the kind of money that the People's Partnership had, right?
That's true.
The People's Partnership was spending between $60 to $65 billion a year. 60 to 65. This government between 50 to 53. So we're looking at a difference of between $7 to $12 billion difference. If this government was spending $60 to $65 billion a year as that administration had done, Bruce, we would have no issues. All the roads would be paved.
Yep.
Yeah? No issue with that. The healthcare system, I mean, it's not perfect, but there have been improvements. But again, A lot of the people who talk in this talk about, oh, the healthcare system in the country is so bad, and half of them can't tell you the last time they went to the hospital, you know.
Of course not.
But it's just because they hear that talk and everybody jump on that bandwagon. But actually, as somebody who would have experienced that for the few months that my sister was in the hospital, albeit that I still have my issues with the quality of care that you would have gotten from the doctors per se and what incompetence. But the facilities where she was staying, to me, was very good. In the Costard building there. And I mean, by and large, I saw somebody the other day wrote an article about the experience that they had in the San Fernando General Hospital. And even though it took a while, they praised the doctors. They said because they got through all the tests that they ran and whatnot and stuff. When they got in there, they were told, well, have a seat, it'll be a while. And they thinking they'll be sit down there for a few hours before the doctor see them. Within minutes, the doctor came 15, 20 minutes, talked to them, called them inside and whatnot, and they got through. But we don't hear these stories. It's only when the health sector so bad. And then we like to compare to other countries and in the US and stuff. In the US, and I continue to make this point, why in the United States you can get the quality healthcare is because you have to pay. And you are required in the United States of America to have health insurance, private health insurance. And under the Obamacare, there's something called the individual mandate, Bruce, where if it is that you didn't have health insurance, they would charge your family. So based on your household income, you would be charged a penalty based on the total value of your household income for you not having health insurance. So you're forcing you need to go and have health insurance to pay because the government, where the government hospital is in the US. Tell me, which one? Private. Everything, you make sure, first thing you go in, do you have health insurance? So you're going to pay. If you're pocketing deep, you have health insurance, well, here what? Bust out. I have lost count, Bruce, of how many videos I have seen on Facebook with persons in the United States, the great US, where they could print money. The home of the free and the land of the brave, or whatever it is, right? The land of opportunity. Where you have persons in the United States who have died because they have to ration their insulin. People with diabetes. Where they're supposed to be taking 2 shots or 3 shots for the day and they're only taking 1 because they can't afford it. Because insulin is so expensive, far more expensive than here, right? And people ending up in diabetic comas and stuff because they're trying to make this insulin last for the whole month because they live in paycheck to paycheck. They don't have the money to go to the hospitals and stuff. One girl, I read a story about this young lady. She got an infection and she didn't have the money to buy the antibiotics, right? And she went to a veterinary clinic and bought the antibiotics for horses, because it was cheap. And, well, of course, the doses you would expect for horses. And she ended up in the hospital, Bruce, overdose, right? Yeah. And this is the things that are happening there. But we crying trouble here. And it's the government. Everything is the government. Diversify the economy is the government. If you have a business idea, what the government have to do with that? All these little things add up, you know, Bruce. If I have a business idea and it could be a successful business idea, and you have one, and Sharon have one, and each one of us decide we're going to pursue that. At the end of the day, when your business is successful, gets off the ground and successful, and you're paying taxes, those taxes going into the coffers of the state, right? But we only talk about is the government, and everything is the government. Let me read this for you here. That again, something that I saw there, right? Just to give an example. Local food favorites in a snap. This is in today's Express. For about $20, you can buy a packet of chuka. Oh gosh, Express only 2 buy. Loss. Yeah, you can buy a packet of chuka, dal, kalalu, pepper sauce, or even green seasoning. The dehydrated product line, which is 100% local, simply requires the addition of hot water and a quick stir to enjoy. It is agro-processing meeting innovation to do in seconds what traditionally would take much longer. And the new product line, which has been 2 years in the making, is part of an agro-processing facility that costs about $60 million. The goods, which are culinary staples in TNT, are being produced by Novo Farms under their brand Life. Life already produces fries, sweet potato, cassava, and dasheen, which are 100% local, as well as an assortment of processed raw vegetables. The instant line, which went viral on social media after it was teased at Guyana's Agri-Investment Forum in May, finally hit local supermarket shelves last week. And I saw when, I think, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Emery Brown, he had attended this event. And he tried the tomato choker. So they just open the pack, is like one of those Maggi soup pack. Pour it into wherever your bowl and you throw in your water, mix it up. Yeah, and you fix up. Yeah, so you know how to go and take tomatoes and roast it on the stove and then all of that back and out. Coming in a pack now? Yeah. There's some Jetson's business now. Yeah, it's that thing. It says it's now being sold at JTA supermarkets, True Value and Excellent stores. Businessman Glenn Ramdani, 38, in an interview with the Express Business last week, said the product's reception is phenomenal. Within 48 hours, most retailers were completely sold out. 48 hours. In less than a week, reorders are coming in. Customers who were skeptical at first after trying the products are now promoting it and are amazed by the aroma, the taste, and the way it reconstitutes when hot water is added. It is as though you just made it at home, and for those living abroad, it tastes like home. He said the idea for the instant product was conceptualized after returning from a 2-week trip abroad. I was missing my local foods. You know, we all have family members living abroad and often get requests to bring food items when we travel to visit them. That's when I started the process of seeking to have Novo Farms automate and innovate our local culinary food. And he said that the first products conceptualized were the 2 chokers, tomato and baigan. After getting this right, we then went on to develop and produce 10 new products. The product line includes the chokers, pumpkin dal, callaloo, green seasoning, pepper sauce, and pineapple tenderizer. Ramdani said it took 2 years, which included the lockdown period during COVID-19 pandemic, to get from concept to production. We were anxious to get things moving, however, to have a world-class product with an international appeal, we needed to follow through analysis and all that, right? This is a new business that started during COVID, 2 years ago. Okay. Right? Take off already. So I'm sure that they have export in mind, which is going to generate foreign exchange. Because for those of us who travel would know, when you go outside there, you have certain things that you're longing for your car get. When I go to, like the other day when I traveled, there's something you feel to make a curry. Go in Walmart. The only curry I could find, curry powder, genuine curry powder, is from Jamaica. Right? Yeah. Nothing from Trinidad. I'm looking for chief. I beg in. Can't find chief nowhere.
What chief?
Yeah. I ask some people here now, where I can get local thing, and they tell me, well, there's if you want to get the cheap curry powder, you could go to this restaurant in North Lauderdale called Tabanka. So they buy it, however they get it from. So you go there. So Tabanka, if you want roti, doubles, whatever it is you want, Chinese running that restaurant up there. But when you go, they have like cheap products and stuff on the shelves and whatnot that you can buy. Yeah, you want your tamarind sauce, you want your genuine. Yeah. They're making money every time you go there. You know, it's a difference when you go in there and you're hearing when you go in there and you hear the local Trini dialect. And that's the point that I'm making. There is opportunities out there in the diaspora. You have Trinidad and Tobago citizens living abroad who yearn to taste Trini food. Some of them have not been back in this country in years. And they simply cannot get these things outside there. Who's marketing it? Who's exporting it? Right? And this is the point that I'm making. When you all like to talk about the government and is the government responsible for diversifying the economy? No. You think this guy here this story I just read about, you think he had to go and send an email or a letter to Dr. Rowley to ask for Dr. Rowley's permission to start this business? Dr. Rowley called him and tell him, here, I have a business idea for you. I want you to start this. No. The man said he went a 2-week trip abroad and he was yearning for his local cuisine and he couldn't get it abroad. And when he came back, he got the idea. And now this business was born. In the last 2 years, this business was born. And sales are phenomenal locally. So if locals are buying these things, where we have all the ingredients here to make it ourselves, but because, some people, because of time or whatever it is, would prefer to buy it here instant. I just open the pack, pour it in a bowl, throw some water, and voila, I have tomato choker, or I have baigan choker, or whatever it is. Think about the persons outside who have been living abroad for years and who just come back here for a week or two and on vacation. And then for the rest of the time that they're abroad, they don't have access to this. This is a money-making business. There's no law that says this is the only person that could do this. Yeah, this guy did this. But who's to say somebody else or somebody else can't do the same thing under a different brand? Maybe yours might taste a little better, but there is a market out there for which you could generate foreign exchange. But we sit down, waiting for the government. Yeah, they're always talking about diversification and agriculture this, and they need to put more money into agriculture and agriculture. And we're singing the same tune every year. But meanwhile, you have people like Mr. Ramdani here who decide to put pedal to the wheel, as they say. And he doing it. And he didn't need money from the government. He didn't need the government's permission or anything like that. New business startup. How many other business ideas are there out there? People just sit down and pining on it. I saw a number of stories carried on social media of persons who started businesses during the COVID period because they lost their 8-to-4 job or their 9-to-5 job. That they had these business ideas for the longest while, but they didn't want to engage in it because it meant that they would have to commit themselves full time and they weren't willing to take the risk to start this business and then it fails and I give up my 9 to 5 or my 8 to 4 job and then I end up unemployed. Some of them are today, the biggest regret they have was that they didn't start their businesses 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because now their business is thriving, but because of fear, right? Fear of the unknown. They didn't start their business and now they're happy that they did. Their financial circumstance has improved. That of their family has improved as well. But everything is the government. You all want the government to do everything. The majority of the government's money goes into what? Wages and salaries, transfers and subsidies. Because everybody wants government work. There are still people in this country with the mindset that, hey, once you get government work, you're set for life. Your salary guaranteed at the end of the month. And when you work 33 and a third, you get your full pension and you go home and cock up your foot and you like yourself. So we are content to be employees, not entrepreneurs. So when I hear the UNC and Kamla, they talk all the time about we created 50,000 jobs and 50,000 jobs. Yeah, you created 50,000 employees. How many entrepreneurs did you create? What did you put in place to create entrepreneurs so that the private sector could drive diversification, not the government? I heard them talking about how when Joseph Mandela had come here, the late Joseph Mandela, former U.S. ambassador, the last substantive that we had, the very first outing, public outing that Mr. Mandela had, where he addressed the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And he lamented the fact, and he was surprised at the level of government involvement in the economy. And he said that is unheard of in the United States, and therefore his hands are tied in terms of how much lobbying he could do to U.S. entities to partner with the local public sector, because it's just not done. The U.S. government is not that involved in the economy of the U.S. Donald Trump said, and it's one of the few things Donald Trump said that I actually agreed with the man with. The United States, the economy of the U.S. is built on the backs of the middle class and of the small business. Small businesses, everybody have a business idea, they get into it. And the more people who are involved in business, they create opportunities. That is why when Dr. Oli said the rich does not have to get, well, there's nothing wrong with the rich getting richer, but the poor must come out of poverty. And when the rich get richer, they make opportunities, create opportunities for the poor. But it's not just employment opportunities. Corporate social responsibility. Invest in things that could provide funding for people who have business ideas. In the United States, you have this thing called Shark Tank, where you have successful business owners who have a panel of successful businessmen, and you come to them and you pitch your business ideas and you try to sell it to them. And if your business idea is good, they will invest in your business to help you get it off the ground. Where is the local version of that? Huh? Where is it? Now, I will give kudos to Republic Bank. Republic Bank has something called the Power to Make a Difference, where they committed millions of dollars to satisfying their corporate social responsibility. So they give money for different things. So they have a criteria set out, and if it is you're an NGO, schools and so on, and you're looking for funding for certain things. So I know, for instance, with CIC, they would have assisted in the purchase of the school bus and different things. But they have opportunities there. But we need more of the private sector to get involved. So the other day, Bruce, when they were, I think an appeal went out to the Port of Spain businessmen for them to, I can't remember what it is, to do more to assist in the development of Port of Spain. And I think the president of DOMA was saying, fix security first. So an appeal was, right, so I can't remember who it was, made the appeal to them, here, what, let's beautify Port of Spain. Some all paint in front of all the business in years. Oh gosh, that should paint or something now. Try and fix up, make a contribution, come together, and if it is to clean up the place, because always complaining Port of Spain stink and Port of Spain this and that. And he said, well, all you have to fix the security first, because we're going to invest that money when it is we are spending money on security and security guards and whatnot and stuff. So fix all your mix and then we will fix ours. That's the mindset, right? So everything is the government. Government has to provide for national security. Yes, that's their responsibility to provide the resources. But it's the crime fight is the responsibility of the police. That's the responsibility of the police. The government has to ensure that the Coast Guard has the resources and so on. All of these things, and we need to understand what is the role of government. There are too many people, unfortunately, in this country who are content to just live off of the government. Look at what happened in the United States, Bruce. With that same, and I keep having to use the US as an example. That in the wake of COVID, where the government decided we would help the people. So we gave them the stimulus packages, and they got this $1,400 thing, and then the child tax credit at $300 for each child. What that did, a lot of people ended up leaving their jobs because the money they were getting from the state was sufficient to pay all their bills and live comfortably. Yeah? So the labor market now, stress out. When I went to the US the other day, I am surprised, Bruce, you go into some of these stores and all of them have up signs. You're getting a sign-on bonus, $1,500, $2,500 US if it is that you apply for a permanent job. A lot of the people who doing these jobs is retirees, people in their 70s and 80s. You see old woman bent over in JCPenney. Yeah. When this woman should be home taking care of her grandchildren, Bruce, she stand up because and in these stores, there are no seat, right? You're on your feet whole day. This poor old woman stand up behind the cash register in JCPenney there. Now, normally when I travel, whenever I go in there, in that particular mall, because their food court, the food there is great, so I was always go there. But I would pass through Sephora, JCPenney, and every day you would see a different cash. Not no more, Papa. It's the same cash every day. Same one every day. People living nice. Yeah. I can relax and I know a check coming, money going into my account at the end of the month. What are you going and work for? Yeah? So that is the state of it over there where businesses have closed down because they cannot find workers. And so we need more people like Mr. Ramdani, because I'm sure Mr. Ramdani has hired workers. He has created employment opportunities. So when we only want to gripe about it, they have work and it have work. But before the ads come up, let me just touch on one more thing here. This is especially for the members of the illiterati. Let me find this here. Who always complaining about, the cost of living so high and is the highest cost of living in the country, history and whatnot. Let me give all you some data, some statistics, right? To the literati. Let me get it here. Right. And this is from a PNM people too. So when you hear the literati talking this dotishness about how the cost of living so high and whatnot, tell them this. In 2010, the inflation rate was 10.53%. 2011, it went down to 5.1%. In 2012, it went back up to 9.28%. 2013, 5.19%. 2014, 5.7%. 2015, it went to 4.66%. 2016, 3.07%. Who was that? PNM. 2017, 1.88%. Who was in power? PNM. 2018, 1.02%. Who was in power? PNM. Who was the Prime Minister? Keith Rowley. 2019, inflation, 1%. 2020, 0.6%. 2021, 1.1%. Right? So when you all want to come and talk your stupidness about, is the highest rate of the cost of living is the highest it's ever been, you're all talking trash. Instead of being intellectually lazy, go on Google and look for it. Look the information right there. So you see that the inflation rate under the PP for the entire time that they were in office was much higher than it is under this administration for the majority of this administration's tenure. Right? It went up in 2022 now because of what happened, we know, coming out of COVID with the supply chain issues. And not only that, also the issue of the Ukraine and Russia war. Now the inflation rate has gone up to 4.64%. But for the majority of the PNM's tenure, Keith Rowley's tenure as Prime Minister, inflation was lower, right, than it ever was under the PP. So next time you all want to come with that dotish talk, miss us with that BS. We have the facts, okay? We go to the ads, and when we come back on the other side of 8 o'clock, we take your calls. Stay locked.
Anybody alive on the way? Anybody alive on the way? Anybody alive on the way? Anybody alive on the way?
the things them boys say. They say talk the things, it's like them and want to see my people win. I say jealousy and grudges a sin. Talk the things them boys say. They say talk the things, some of them just want easy living. Success, rich, they watching the things. I wanna show them, they can talk to me. God and the angels watch over me. Every morning I kneel down and pray. Wake up and lay down, I say, you wanna show them, no bad company. Could take way one chance to me. What you wanna see me, that's it, and I tell you. Bad mind, I don't know who's in your mouth, tell them you will see me now. They see me now. They see me now. Envious people, I beg you please, when you see me, don't see me now. Not done. See me now. Don't see me now. Don't see me now. When everybody put your hand in the air, in the air, in the air. I say, John, I'm the plan to it. Rag in the air, in the air, in the air. When I say give me a wave.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108. Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle Tuesday morning from 11:05 to 12 noon, right here on the street 919 FM.
In Trinidad and Tobago, there are so many things to talk about. Social issues, injustice, child abuse, domestic violence, political scandals, and much more. On HOTP, we will cover all that and much more. Don't forget, you can catch us every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday nights from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Hot off the press. Hot topics, no filter.
Are you ready for that boat experience again? The Sea Champion and the Embassy say, book with us for that unforgettable boat ride experience. Sea Champion leaving from King's Wharf, San Fernando, and the Embassy leaving from Breakfast Shed, Port of Spain, or Westside Trinidad. For more information, call 399-5959, 281-4723, or email us at coralvisiontT@gmail.com. Book now and reserve your cruise.
Hey, that boat, I look like it's not wet.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282. Or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio. Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
You are invited invited to join Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly Miracle Center, located at number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco in Sangre Grande, for the Old Time Gospel Hour Family Radio Ministry every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check out the Children's Hour Worship Ministry of the Word and the Family Forum every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Law and You every Friday evening from 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer live on the Street 919 FM, designed with you in mind. This program deals with today's issues from a biblical perspective. You will also be given the opportunity to call in and interact with us. Micah 6:8 says, He had showeth thee, O main, and what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with thy God. Your financial support through the First Citizens Bank will be greatly appreciated. Account number 795222. In the name of the Church of the Firstborn Assembly. For further information, call 753-1133 or email us at church668hope@gmail.com.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So welcome back. So just a bit of quick information for you. Hot Off the Press presents our first boat ride. Come celebrate Aisha's birthday with us on Saturday, August 13th aboard the luxurious Embassy Yacht. Boarding 6:30 p.m. sharp at the Hyatt Waterfront, sailing at 11 p.m. We'll have an all-star DJ cast. Remember, shots on entry. Get your early bird tickets. The first 100 tickets will be sold at $150. I think they are sold out already. I'm not sure. For tickets and info, you can call Robert at 333-2181, Ulu at 730-3665, or Mommy Sauce at 753-2175. Champions, let's party in fine style aboard the Sea Champion. And yacht lovers, get ready to party on the luxurious Embassy Yacht. For more information, you can call us on 399-5959, 280-7512, or email coralvisiontt@gmail.com. Join Pastor Kelvin Harry Narayan and friends for the Way the True the Life radio program Radio Ministry, a Church of Life ministry live on the Street 909 FM every Sunday from 6:05 p.m. to 7 p.m. For further information, contact 686-3845 or 349-5178 or 342-7303. And tune into the Street 909 FM every Thursday from 10:05 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. for the program Straight and Narrow, The Way of Life. The Health Store being brought to you by Mrs. Arlene Collins Muhammad. For more information, you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram at Straight and Narrow, or visit our website at www.opulence.com/Arlene for Life. You can also call or WhatsApp us at 309-4697 or 620-9379. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we are back.
So is my phone?
That's all?
I'm not sure. Take off my own, let me see.
Yeah, one.
One yours, and
yeah, I think it's on.
It's on there?
Yeah, no? Yeah. I think I'm on. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the lone UNC counselor who defied Kamala when the man said he didn't get him memo, you know, Bruce. That's the man whistle. I didn't get him memo.
So, but it have conflicting headlines with that.
Yes.
Because on one papers he said he didn't get the memo, and on the other papers he's saying that he has his constituency to think about.
Yes.
So which one really is it?
Well, I heard him last night. They interviewed him on the phone and thing, and he said he didn't get the memo. When he showed up there, he saw the PNM councillors telling him, "Boy, we doing here? You're a real Makaram, boy. You you come down here." And Kamala said, "No, come." Well, they don't answer there for he.
Boss true.
Unless he go down on bended knees. Oh God, great leader, forgive me.
Boss true.
Why that's there for you?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, hard luck there, partner. 342-008-146-65391. Hello, good morning. Yeah.
Dominic and
Yes, sir.
Win, a splentifulous good morning to you guys. And I hope you guys have a tremendiferous, splendiferous, fantabulous, splentastic rest of the day. Dominic, you know something, Dominic? I don't care what nobody say about you. I appreciate you as a co-host. I'm being very honest. We may have our differences, but I respect you full 100. Because, you know, if somebody is saying something that kind of makes sense and it may not be pro-PNM, you will admit it. But I want to just bring something to your attention, right? In this country, we do have Medicare and Medicaid, and Medicaid and the Children Health Insurance Program, which is called CHIP, provides free or low-cost health insurance to millions of Americans, including some low-income people, families and children, pregnant women, the elderly, and people with disabilities. So we do have some programs where you get free health insurance. Now there's also Medicare, right? You are eligible for premium free Part A if you are 65 or older and you or your spouse work and paid Medicare taxes for at least 10 years, right? So there is some free health care that you can get in this country, right? There is some that you do have to pay for. And I think in Trinidad and Tobago, that might be a good suggestion for when people work in. They take out monies from their salary in order when they turn, whether it's 62 or 65, they can get certain free health care as well. I know there's free health care, but just as another backup to the, in addition to what we already have in Trinidad. But Dominic, I want to add one other point, right? I hear you speak about roads and so forth, and I want the people of Trinidad and Tobago to Google a term called internalized oppression. I'm putting this into the lexicon of Trinidad and Tobago for the first time. It's called internalized oppression. And in my estimation, the picture of internalized oppression in Trinidad and Tobago is the representative for Lavantel West. And let me just quickly read a quote that he says, right? This is a quote from a speech that he gave in Lavantel. He says, the men and they want sex. They want girlfriend. They're going to have babies, but they don't want the serious responsibility that a man has to take when he chooses to have a woman. These, I submit, are real issues affecting us. And listen to this, These, I submit, are the real issues affecting us. And not no hole in the road, not no water problem, because it does get water. You might not get it every day, 24 hours a day, but it does get water to cook, to clean yourself, to wash your clothes, right? And I'm going to close right there. And he also went on to say that when he grew up in Lavantel, he saw a fella sitting on the block. And 25 years later, he come back and he still see the same fella sitting on a block. In addition, he also said he came out of a grocery one day and he saw this gentleman and he was looking for the piper in the gentleman. Dominic and Bruce Wayne, you see, that is what they think of us. And when he's going to regurgitate what they think of us, it is called internalized oppression. He has to stop that. He has to come from a more positive perspective rather than trying to look for the piper in the people that look like him. Dominic and Bruce Wayne, I say to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, especially black people, in the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Dominic, you guys have a fantabulous, splendiferous. And Dominic, lastly, and Bruce Wayne, I'm asking a question. I want to know if the Prime Minister ever called Nicholas Paul, Jereme Richards, and the 4x400 gold team to wish them congratulations on winning gold medals recently for 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not talking about a Facebook post. I want a personal call. These individuals continue to make Trinidad proud and put them in. Nick and Bruce Wayne, thank you very kindly. Bye-bye.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, Dominic, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Dominic, man, stay so long talking and really ain't saying nothing, you know. Dominic, I wonder if what you can and Fali is what kind of leader you call them?
Transformational.
They are transformational. The
Yes.
transformational leader goes to the Grenada, about Carnival.
The
If you
transform
land
Carnival.
Calypso, Limbo, and everything with Carnival. You go on there. That's something like an Eskimo from in Trinidad to buy height.
Yes. So true.
and then the next one, representative for Roxborough, Watson Duke. He gave over millions he get. Spending all in Trinidad. And then the same man who tell me, I want nothing to do with Trinidad.
Yes.
We have to cut that thing. And what kind of thing you say? What is Roxborough people in Tobago get? Any kind of representation from Watson Duke? Where's Watson Duke as we speak?
They get a virtual representation.
And I hear all kind of lime and river lime and all kind of things. Look at where Trinidad. Spending up the KT money in Trinidad and people in Tobago get one thing. But Dominic, you know what's so thing about the UNC? And well, this guy called this morning, I think. You know, they ain't supporting nothing. I hear Tabakit yesterday saying that the UNC budgets ain't getting nothing. They ain't giving them no money. They ain't get no money. And then so and so they ain't get no money. And they never get lie. And they're lie brass face, you know. One, you must get your allocations of money. But what we see happening is that certain budgets complaining because not enough. Two, in Superior Regional Corporation, when the whoever it is up there was complaining, he had no money. The finance minister started telling him, look, you have a budget, so you have money and that you can use all of that. No one are using that money. So he's starving the people because he don't want to use that money. But at the end of the day, when the money goes back to the government back when the budget comes around. Three, when they have money, they don't spend it on people because how much are the councillors and them up there in Grandy and all over the place to hear about people concerned and thieving and corruption and all kind of nonsense. You even hear in some way, I think it's Princess Song, where these people have the workers coming and clean the yard and all kind of madness happening when they're running the business. So it's not a government fault, it's accountability fault. So when they try to blame the government, it's not the government to be blamed on that. Because you're also looking at the property tax. So when the property tax comes around and you're allowed to take that money, right, and use it to help the people in your budgets, because that will be extra set of money. So when you pay your property tax, and here it is, you have a landslide come down in the back of your house, they have money to help you fix that. How much landslide will come down in your area? In thing, how much they'll get in year worth and things. So I just use that as a reference. Right? Your secondary road, it's bad. Your pavement bad. The thing is, when you pay your property tax, you'll have that money to fix and do your things. The problem I have with the way Kamala Prasad is running her party, and when they have their thing, there is if the money will go down to the people and get it, and these other people finding ways to steal the money, and that is the problem I have. But I was saying when the pilot in the bill, but the opposition never supported that, but harsh penalties should have come to people who found guilty of stealing their money, and that is what I was hoping to come out in the when there's piloting that bill. But the complaints that the UNC and them talking about, they're not getting money, and that's utter rubbish. And this thing in getting that because they try to make comparison, and Port of Spain budget is getting so much, but Port of Spain must get because they have more things to see about and more. You talking about somewhere in a rural areas, how much things you're gonna do inside there? So you want to get the same amount as like Port of Spain. So I understand that didn't make any sense, and that all these things came out when they had the consultation. But the UNC ain't participating in nothing, and then recently the Kamala telling them don't come to it, and it's who's going to suffer. It's who's going to suffer is the people who they represent is going to suffer. But then again, the people and all who they represent, and they agree. Put party first. The hell with the country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Agreed. But we will see. This will be a real demonstration, Bruce, of which party is really the despotic party, right? I'd like to talk about who is where's he for this? A dictator? I didn't tell you not to go to that. I didn't tell you not to go to that. Well, all right. Talk that.
You didn't get the memo? You not
Yeah.
sent out a memo?
Yeah.
I sent an instruction.
So you know what that tells me? You don't watch him Monday Night Forum. Because if you had watched him Monday Night Forum, you would have seen us. All right, go deal with you. Brian, morning.
Good morning, Dominic. Good morning, Bruce.
Morning, sir.
Morning, listeners and callers of 91.9. And that is the point, Dominic, that she did give the instruction, although once he didn't get the memo, right? But at the end of the day, she told them not to go. And you see all this, and I mean, what the government is offering the people, you understand, the councillors, is permanent work every day. You understand? Make your money, fix your cooperation, fix your purchases. You understand? But she does not want them to be handling any money. She don't want that. She wants to handle all the money.
That's right.
You understand? She don't want to know that the San Fernando Corporation has to getting so much money that they have to give them money. On top of that, all the rentals and the everything else coming towards that particular corporation, and they're running the business. She doesn't want to see that. Millions and millions of dollars will pass through the corporation. She don't want that. She wants to have her hands on the money herself, and she distributes. So she has to give you a little bit of crumbs and tell you, well, come now, let me give you a little something. That is the type of mentality and the backwardness, how they want to keep this country. You understand? And let me tell you about, you see, people forget it, Dominic and Bruce. Bruce, in your constituency just recently, you remember when I think a councillor and some other people got together and they got a lot of corporations and so on, and a lot of bodies like the banks and private sector to come down there to offer counseling and jobs and advice to certain people.
Yep.
Do you remember that? And it was well attended?
Yep.
So to say that some people, you understand, are not doing anything to help people who are not working, because people don't want to work. Look, I listened to the news this morning to hear that in Maruga, where they said the road bad and this thing, so people so poor, they find three young boys with a submachine gun and a 9mm, and things to tie your hands and all sorts of stupidness and all sorts of other things. Where they getting the money to buy all those things and all the bullets? And even during the bad time, during COVID, businesses were still attempting to flourish a bit. Look at Pennywise. Pennywise says we are opening a new business. If you come down south, it's near Price Mart in south, and there's a new Pennywise there. When you go in there, you swear you're not a big grocery, you know. You gotta take a trolley and you can walk around for hours. To see that people suffering and business not fresh. Look at Extra Foods in Arima. Look at Massey has opened up many other stores even during the COVID. I called Dominic, I called Kia the other day in South to ask about the new spottage. They said, Hanan. I said, over the Sorrento. All sell out.
Yes.
Sold out.
Sorrento $500,000.
Huh?
Sorrento started $500,000.
$500,000 sold out. I say, well, when it come in again? You don't know.
Next year.
But put on your order and we go see what can happen.
Yeah.
We're going back to the days when you had to put on an order and wait for 6 months.
Yes.
Remember those days?
Yes.
So to tell me that nothing is happening in the country, and like the young Ramnarite individual, he's just maybe one of many. You understand? That's how we will begin to export, because there are people, as you rightly said, out there. I could remember. I was in Miami and I wanted to get something local, so I went down to the grocery, couldn't find anything. And one of the people there told me, take this and let's put it in the microwave and just warm it up and it'll be good for you. I go back to the hotel, put it in the microwave and it blew up. Once at a siren and people come running and smoke. I say, let me go to the restaurant and look for something to eat. You understand? So people out there always looking for something local. And that is where these people come in. It's not the government to it's not the government to say. You understand? It's just we lazy people have to get up off these backsides, go out there and use our brains, as some people have done. Google had a lady on just the other day, and she told you what she is doing to assist people and how her business has grown. You understand? It's just a matter, yes, I agree, there is a fear. You may have an idea, but the fear of it not getting off the ground, and your investments, you're losing investment in money and that sort of thing. You study all of these things, but when push comes to shove, you start small and you grow. Some of us want to start big and you want to get large overnight, and it can't happen like that in most instances if you don't have the financial capital and the wherewithal. You understand? But a lot of things are happening in the country. Right? You hear people complaining about the foreign news cars, people complaining, oh God, businesses closing down. But people never ask, well, how many foreign news car business do they have right now? It's over 300 in the country. And people keep talking, and I just listen, I just shake my head. But everybody, as you rightly said, want to work in the government, get paid, go home and complain. And that's it. But the country is surviving. It may not be as far as we want it to be because there's still an economic deficit. I understand that. But we are going to eventually get there. It's going to take time. Because remember, while it will take you 5 years to eat out the treasury and everywhere else, it's going to take more than 5 years or 10 years or 15 years for us to get back into a place where we wanted to be at this time. You understand? So don't believe that, okay, don't talk about them for the last for their 5 years, because that don't matter. It matters. Because to regrow and to get back on the good terms with Moody's and the others, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of effort. And you have to hope and pray you don't get another COVID or anything to disrupt the growth of the country and the economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. Hello, good morning.
Good morning again, Dominic and Bruce.
Morning.
There's a lot of things that we can't repeat because a lot of things are said, and acknowledged. But, Central and UNC and their supporters are saying poverty is the cause for the crime in this country, right? Mm-hmm. But, Dominic, why is there so many business people and politicians before the court? Are they poor? Why people overpricing their what do you call it? What do you think you would submit for a job? But anyway, yeah. Why we have people running away with money? They call themselves businessmen. Taxpayers' money, and cannot get them before the courts in Trinidad and Tobago. Are they poor? Why is it people who could afford to send their children to university still seeking scholarship for their children?
Yes.
And concerning the cooperation situation where the UNC and other counselors saying they don't have money to fix that. Dominic, are they resigning their job? Are they going home? If you sit at a desk and you have nothing to do, who paying you for doing nothing? Is it that we are hiring people who cannot plan and who cannot carry out the job? We now have to assess the people all over and find out if they can carry on the function they are hired to do, Dominic.
Yeah.
Right? I heard Central talking about removal of subsidies and all kind of things. Is he asking the government to hire people and stop this overtime? How much is it costing government to pay all those medical doctors and people who are on calls and so on? How it doesn't happen in the private hospitals?
Yes.
Why is it like that? And you're talking. I want to know why the UNC is so adamant of not paying land tax. Tell us why you don't want to pay property tax. Sorry, is it that you have property that you don't want the government to know because you cannot explain how you come about it? Central, tell us something about that now. because a lot of people, and Dominic, you go to Grandy, I think you have family, I'm not sure about you, but you have some kind of affiliation with Grandy. Mm-hmm. And you see almost every day land is being cut down.
Yes.
Right? And land is being utilized, but I don't know if they're using it, because you see they start something and they leave it there and they would probably block it around and so. And that stretch to Grandy there, it's booming, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. So, the government must do something to protect taxpayers and the citizens' assets. And this is some things that people don't understand, because it will hurt them. And Bruce and Dominic, the country is so bad, it's this and that. Can the UNC tell us how many Indian business people and citizens come into Trinidad and Tobago? Stop lying to the people now. Stop this falsehood about Trinidad so bad, and you have African, Indian, Chinese, all of them live in their country. If they are so bad, they will go elsewhere. Pleasant morning.
Thank you. You keep singing these songs about no foreign direct investment coming, no foreign investment coming. Tobago's room stock just increased by 75. Comfort Inn just opened. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. But the Marriott, is the Marriott Hotel that you're supposed to cut the land, what's new current issue with it? What's happening with that? Remember Pali say, well, we don't know about whatever discussions they had with the last administration, right? Yeah. But the people who want to break, they need to come and sit down and talk to us now. That is not stifling, but you want to bring Tom, Dick, and Harry and Jenny from Grenada to stay away. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hi, morning Dominic, morning to Bruce,
morning.
Sharon, and everyone. Listen, I was so educated and edified this morning with Dominic and yourself, how you outlined a lot of things, especially in relation to subsidy.
Yes.
And what I've been saying for a good while, the question of how people could be ungrateful with how government have so much, including the whole question of free medical. I passed by the health center the other day to deal with a particular issue. I was so impressed with the staff. And I told people, one of the things that if you get in something free, like medical, then you have a lot of people coming in for that so-called, free service. Mm-hmm. And Dominic and Bruce, the only thing you have to pay with is your time.
Yes.
You have to pay in some way or the other. And if I am going to the hospitals, I know I have to shape myself for a long wait because I'm getting it free, because a lot of people would be there.
Yes.
And I went, it's not a medical center where you pay in your bill where there's a service and you pay your money. And no, it's a service, but the service is system. The system, when you go to licensing authority and you go there and you notice that to renew, the system is good. But because of everything being subsidized, imagine when you're 60, I could just jump on a boat and go to Tobago.
Yes.
You could just do that. And, it's amazing. When I listen to all of the whole question of subsidy and printing money, and I said so much information is out there, but people, Dominic and Bruce, I'm so emotional about this, because what I was outlining this morning even gave me, so much views about why people are so ungrateful, that you would think that ills facing your country is what you're using to make yourself viable as an opposition. It's really, really sad. I learned today about printing money and why we don't print money in relation to demand.
Yes.
So these are the things I want people to understand. And I want Wall Street too, in the somber way that you're speaking this morning, but yet being a little bit, in the conversation with Mr. High. Mr. High is telling, black fellas or people out there that if it's on the block, my brothers and they were on the block, but they were employed. They didn't stay long. They just come to make a line, eat a doubles, eat a dates, and they go back home. Nothing wrong being on the block. But don't just come and stay on that block for years and then blame the government. It's nonsensical. So I just want people that listen and those who listen this morning to tell your children, because I engaged my son because he would just be whimsically, Daddy, so-and-so has to know. Let me tell you this. And once your children are able to listen, they will understand the importance of not so much the PNM, but the importance of the PNM in government, where they can transcend the whole question of party into policy as a government. That's what we don't get from the UNC. That's why Kamala Prasad never lived in the Prime Minister's house, because she felt that was a promise she made to the people. And it's foolish. Because for me, any prime minister living in their own house, that's corruption to me. So, let me end. I really enjoyed the program even more this morning because I learned a lot. Thank you, guys. All the best.
Hello, good morning.
Uncle Dominic,
yes,
the principal.
Morning.
Morning. How you doing?
Good.
Right, Uncle Bruce. I didn't shout for greetings.
Morning.
And morning. How you do, Uncle Bruce?
I did.
Good man. Nice. Auntie Sharo, Professor Chance, and all the other principals and teachers of the Titans of Democracy. I want to talk about Mr. Farley Augustine, the Chief Secretary Stupidness of Tobago. He says he admits that they paid Brother Winford James $25,000 to document the whether it's document or right, whatever it is, the Tobago House of Assembly budget that went by. And he's blaming now, or he's saying, not blaming, saying that it is better than what the previous PNM administration was doing. Mr. Chief Secretary Stupidness, tell us what are the costs. Bring it. It will be recorded there. The administrators, everybody is having. You put them on whatever, and let us see what were the costs that the PNM budget cost throughout the years. Don't just come and say it was better. But this is what you all are doing in Tobago. Enjoying yourself, as Principal Dominic says. They go to Charlottesville for heritage, but they have to stay in Blue Waters, where a drink of whiskey is $250. This is the whole bacchanal you all doing, having a good time, but the PNM thief out all the money and they squander it and they this and they that in Tobago. But what have you all done for 8 months in Tobago for the young people who voted for you all, who you all lied to? All of them still on the job block, all of them home, not doing anything. But all your mother say, Kamala give them $500 to make babies, and people suffering and starving on that PNM. But she is not now saying that anybody suffering and starving, because I know all the projects that were during the PNM time, whether before election or whatever was election time, all of them are closed for the last 8 months, and the contractors not been paid. And finally talking about due diligence. You know, he keep big party in Speyside for harvest. First time in his life he keep harvest in Speyside because he have House of Assembly money to keep harvest. You understand? This is the thing. And everybody jump up and eat and drink, fooling the people. You all continue. Mr. Wasserjuk, you leave Tobago and live in Trinidad and all over the world and forget about the Tobagonians who you lie and make a fool out of. You know why? Because most of them doesn't have brains of their own to think. Uncle Dominic, you all have and Uncle Brucey, you all have a bless the Auntie Sharo. Love you all Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, sir. I like that title, Bruce. Chief Secretary Stupidness.
Yeah.
Yes. I like it. I don't know what to say. We ain't one another Chief Secretary Stupidness. Eliza Farley is our Chief Secretary Stupidness. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning again. And everybody, this caller that now called Mountain George, good morning to him. But you were discussing the thing about land, right? You remember all this telling you? Mm. If you own land, you own country. Mm. And that is what they are about. And a strategy that I would like to let our people know. Okay, if you own one property and you mortgage that property to buy 2 other property, and then you allow the bank to take away that property, people that say, oh, look, the bank take away the house. But remember, you're not owing on the other 2 new properties that you gain or for mortgaging the last property. It's the same thing that is doing vehicle also. So these are strategies that other people use, and I want to enlighten people that to follow that, because you own 1 property, you mortgage it, you buy 2, and let them take away that 1 from you. You go in the black book, but you still have 2 properties, and that is how we do. Because in this place, you own land, you own country, but power is what they want. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. When was the last time you saw Cova jelly? Not jelly.
When my godmother make it, and that was how much years ago.
Well, you know how long I'm looking for that?
Serious?
I don't like the jam because I find it too thick. Right?
Yeah, the jelly.
Looking for Cova jelly. Can't find that nowhere.
My godmother used to make that by
Yeah.
Gova. Anything that name Gova, she making something behind Gova cheese, Gova jam, Gova jelly, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see, whenever, and this is the point I'm making about this thing about diversifying the economy and opportunities, right? It should not here, I'm sure. You go over here, right?
Yeah.
You have Gova jam. You can't find Gova jelly, right? If anybody know any grocery I could get it, I'd be thankful. But when I go to the US and I go to Walmart, I will get Grace, which is a Jamaican brand. Yeah? I ain't see no Matux, I ain't see no MP, none of the local brands who find that outside. But we're talking about the government need to drive diversification and nothing happening to bring foreign exchange into the country. Whose fault is that?
The government own, you forget.
All these things are being produced here, manufactured here. Why is not on the foreign market?
Kitrol is the problem. Now
Kitrol is the problem, yeah. You can't, there's the solution. Alright. Jenny, morning.
Morning again, Dominic and Bruce. I just asked you a question earlier.
Yes.
Well, the 2nd of August of this month, Watson Duke or the country would have known if Watson Duke is going to stand trial for rape or not. It is alleged that the lawyers asked for a week. Now, we hear he was in Grenada for a week.
Is that right?
Right, and I just asking question, we hear and we asking. No, I know that I saying Tobago, not me say Lekki to is with the Obia or something, so?
Yes.
So Tobago, Obia and walking, I don't know if it's Grenada or going for, I don't know asking. So Thursday is supposed to be when he had to pay in court. So I asked him, I wanted to check his pocket to see if he have a crap over the mouth, tie up and a bow around the neck or something. I just asked him. Just a little bit, I don't know. Yeah, me say so, I asking a question because I find the timeline.
Yes.
A week off and a week in Grenada. The cases for tomorrow. I don't know because
and now he out the country.
Yeah, boy. So you're going to cross the water. I don't know, and bring back some sand and water from Grenada. I don't know. He must be days with blue soap and lime and thing because I hear they say, I don't know how true it is looking good at all. So me, no. I just asking a question. I didn't say it. So all they don't say, I say. Joke where you're looking for a Grenada? I don't know. What the mothers are them that they make like? I go on.
I do have court clothes all year.
I see the union expecting tens of thousands of people in Port of Spain on Friday, Bruce, to protest the government again. So Jenny made the point earlier on about the lavish lifestyle that these union leaders enjoy, right? While they complaining, we could commiserate with the hardships of our membership. Really? What Roger driving? Huh? what the backdoor president of the PSA? What vehicle he driving? What vehicle Lambert driving? Huh? And he said, what are they driving? What's their take-home pay? You all don't ask that, but yes, solidarity forever. Our union makes us strong. Really? They're only making them strong. Well, they complain, we still working on 2013 salary. What salary Roger and them working on? Huh? What salary?
All.
Roger certainly ain't looking no worse for wear.
They working on
Take chain up. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Bruce.
Morning.
How are you all this morning?
We good.
Well, you know, I can't call everybody. Old people don't get money to keep on long. Bruce and Dominic, I want to ask a question. And then I will make a contribution. How much a president of a union have a salary, get a salary? How much is a salary? How much is a union president salary? Dominic, you will tell me?
Yes, sir.
How much are you a union president? How much is the salary?
Well, I want to know that long time.
But you want to know because them not buy no gas, they not buy car, they not nothing. And all of them just as if the parliamentarian must take a pay cut and all kind of something. But them have cars, they have people, Range Rover and all kind of things.
Yeah, BMW, Mercedes.
BMW and all kind of
yes.
things. Uzi and them pay small. But they're not telling the members of the union that.
Yes.
All they're talking about the government and this government, and they pay high noirs. They get big money.
Big money.
And then I hear they're talking about demonstration Friday and all kind of things. That people must, I remember, let me tell you something. When they brought in the national insurance, it was the national insurance scheme. Mr. Robinson and everybody told us not to join. Don't join that. Or you will suffer the mama guy all you. And Dr. Ekwiliam said whether you sign up or you don't sign up, you have to join. Today everybody benefits. I remember again they had the same thing with you hear me?
Yeah.
They had the same thing again with some problems with money and so on. George Chambers again called people and told them to join this or to invest all your money in this, invest all your money in that, buy shares in this, buy shares. Same union again said no. All you do none. The same unit trust and all of them telling us to do that. I was one, I may take no part. Today again, I see the same thing coming up. But I want to tell people, I was a part of the union. I'm not saying the union is dangerous. Some of the people in the union are dangerous people. Don't go sober, you all have to mind of your business. Don't allow unionists to use you for them to gain. Last one. I hear Sister Jenny asking about what's in joke. Again, everybody, you're hearing it on the ground, people mumbling and so on because in Tobago, you can't go and talk nothing against PDP. And let the officers and them know the law say what. They recognize you. You could have gone into in with the last regime. You could sit down in the office and say, well, the secretary ain't good. Nobody has recognized him. I remember you have a young man went up in Canaan Bonaccord, went up for Canaan Bonaccord for PDP, working in finance. He went to election the Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The next Monday back to work. You understand the money?
Yeah.
And he work in finance until the last election. Then the movement when he either resigned or was in charge of URP. So nobody can say that PNM used to send you home when you're on a party. You have people who is come from now, was working in the chief secretary office. People know. I could call. You have people who is assistant secretary, like Megan and them. All of them work in the assembly, went up for election against PNM. and still go back and work. But I'm hearing people saying, nothing like that happening in Tobago. Dominic?
Yes, sir.
Tobago is in a turmoil, and people, they can't do me nothing. Because I'm telling you something, hot water does not do nothing to the pig. The pig doesn't feed hot water. And then last but not least, Mr. What Duke supposed to, and as far as I heard, supposed to be in court Thursday. But he is in America, in New York, representing the Tobago House of Assembly in Tobago. It's the first time I hear that people from Tobago living here to go and represent Tobago in Tobago Day. Well, you're on a campaign trail. Because I'm telling you, I have a friend, said, boy, he told me that what's in New York. He said, boy, I'm in the airport and I see what's in a team coming and the man starts to load up him out. Here comes the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You know what I mean? So our money, the assembly money, sending people what's in them all about. You go to Dubai, you go there, you go here, representing, not a water world. You're not hearing Vanna James, you're not hearing the next Dr. James, you're not hearing nobody. Nobody else saying nothing. And Brother Farley said, you make sure that the Auditor General, the name is going to the Auditor General mouth, and the Auditor General will never call him up for anything. But Farley is telling you, the Auditor General will call you. Morning.
Thank you, sir. Your friend. Hello, good morning.
Bruce, good morning. Dominic, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
According to Mr. Porter, it's been Papa. Hey, Dominic.
Leave it there. What Bacadal you call it with this one?
I call it no Bacadal. I call it no Bacadal. You said Dominic. Hey, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
I told you how Penny have to take control of the PNM. All you think is joke I'll be making. Penny have to take control of the PNM to bring back the PNM in line. Dr. Rowley say the PNM is a mafia. And if you break ranks, we will kill you politically. We don't want the PNM going down that road, Dominic. After all, so Penny got to take charge of the PNM. Bruce, you read something earlier in the papers there that somebody paid a visit to Venezuela. Could you read that again for me? I would listen off the ear and I would leave it here.
Oh, Lord. I don't recall ever hearing Dr. Rowley say the PNM is a mafia and if you go against they'll kill you politically, but I know some reference was made to some Costa Nostra with reference to the UNC. But anyway, I just wanted to clear up something, right? I the leader of the opposition, and you know, we saw time Anil Roberts and a host of them from the UNC keep saying that the Prime Minister had COVID 3 times. I don't know when the Prime Minister had COVID 3 times, right? Kamlamatics again at its best. The Prime Minister got COVID twice. This is the second time he got it. Right? There was another time where the Prime Minister was in quarantine because he had come into contact with someone who tested positive for COVID. He didn't have COVID that time. So again, ease us up with the propaganda and the dotish talk now. But you see, that's the UNC. You will continue to show yourselves to be nothing more than puppets. You can't think for yourself. So you hear Kamala say so, or Kamala heard somebody say so and she repeated, and Anil hear somebody say so and he repeated. And that's all you all come and regurgitate on social media every time. The Prime Minister did not have COVID 3 times. It's twice. Twice. But then anyway. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic.
Morning.
Good morning. Morning to all those who locked on and listening. Mano, good morning. Dominic.
Yes, ma'am.
I was listening to you this morning when you spoke about the cars, the Volvos.
Yes.
You know, when you realize that the amount of people that buying those kind of cars, you know, the young people, many of them still living in their mother and father house.
Yes.
Some of them not even earning the keep there. And they believe that when they buy that, they must could go on and live in it. You understand?
Yeah.
And at the same time, those who buy the Volvos and even more, you know, they are the ones who's be bawling about the gas price, and they don't want to pay tax to even help them fix the roads. So when those organizations, those business people sell those kind of cars at those prices and the kind of profit they're making, how much they're putting back into the government? I really wonder, into the government coffers.
Yes.
So that it could help fix the roads that these 1,000,001 vehicles they bring in mashing up. Even the used car dealers, right? They always bawling that they put a quantum on them. They bawling, oh, that's enough. They're killing them. That's how we gonna make the money. They just said that. They're bawling when you sell out. They bring the foreign used cars. They don't want to stop bringing them. They want to kill you with vehicles with pumping out old smoke and all of that, and then you don't want to pay road tax, or they don't want to pay increase in gas. Everything must be subsidized, or they don't want to pay land tax, nothing. How they expect the government to run it? How they expect? No country in the world survives on people not paying taxes. That is what runs a country.
Yes.
So everybody want everything for free. They want their drain clean, your garbage pick up, everything you want. You want free medicine at the hospital and treatment. How would they run it for a small country like ours? People don't want to pay their taxes. You understand me?
Yeah.
And every day is a complaint, and people here really, I keep saying it all the time. All it take little and live long now. You know, people here realize the paradise they're living in. All you go over, go to Ukraine and go in those places. They go Russia and all of them. All you going to go Pakistan and India, and then all you going to mull them out and say something different. So that's all I have to say this morning. I want to say to Jenny, good morning, and girl. Every time I call her, I have to say hello to Jenny, and I keep forgetting Jenny. Your contributions have been great, and I listened to you this morning, and don't mind them. Don't take them on. They feel that when you have a certain degree or rank, that you are alone educated. But read the newspapers and read all about it. And according to, I listened to Dominic this morning, good, you know. Some of them, all them who call themselves editors, read the kind of thing that is having in the papers. Read it. Thank you. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you,
Jenny,
Zina.
God bless you, Gil. All right.
Thank you. So, we're out of time, but not out of things to say, folks. Join, well, we'll let you know what happened in the morning. Yeah, Bruce. So, we'll see how that goes, yeah? So, Bruce, any final words? Yeah? No? Yes.
Good morning, guys.
Yes. Enjoy the rest of the day. Have a productive and fruitful one, and we'll join you all back here tomorrow. As you always say, Bruce.
Ciao.
Ciao.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
In Trinidad and Tobago, there are so many things to talk about. Social issues,